finish the goal. Had a special group in here of a lot of special players that made this year fun, but we didn't get the ultimate prize, so we came up short.
And so while the Yankees season end, the Blue Jays advance to the ALCS. They will take on the winner of the Tigers and Mariners. That series headed to a Game 5 in Seattle. Wins last night for the Phillies, yesterday afternoon for the Cubs. Those series going to their respective Game 4s. Giants take on the Eagles. We'll have it for you on the Fan Thursday Night Football. And it's opening night for the Islanders and the Devils. The Isles will skate in Pittsburgh, the Devils at Carolina. And it's game number 2 for the Rangers as they visit Buffalo. This report brought to you by Total Orthopedics. They're Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. 56 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Tell Siri to dial the Fan. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan. 1019 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
16 years and counting, BT, and you just have to tip your cap. Look, I was wrong. The Blue Jays were the better team. The Yankees going home yet again, this time far too soon.
Toronto better. Congrats to them. So, listen, guys, we do this dance every single October. And it's exhausting. It's the same music. It's the same steps. It's the same complaints. See, it's one thing to lose and not win championships, and that's unacceptable based on their standards, right? But every time the Yankees get knocked out in the playoffs recently, they look like the grossly inferior team. It's never close. It's never like you watch 3 games or 5 games or 7 games and say, man, the better team, boy, it was tight, flip a coin, they got a little blue base hit, Yankees went home. 22 Astros, miles better. 24 Dodgers, miles better. Now, I didn't think that Toronto was miles better. I thought that Toronto may have been better. But the way the Yankees play, it's the same stuff. The Ks, the untimely errors. There's not enough home runs because the pitching gets better. And here's what I'm going to do today. I already tell you the script. This is what's going to happen for basically 4 hours or the entire day on the Fan. All the calls, fire Boone, fire Cashman, all the complaints. All right, fantastic. Even if they did that, right, which they won't because nothing's going to change. But even if they did, nothing is going to change because too many people, here's the problem, Sal, too many, and Alex said it last night as well, too many people in the front office who don't know a damn thing about baseball. They have juice, and they have Cashman's ear, and they have Hal's ear. So I know that there's a lot of layers. Who do you hold on to? Who do you let go in terms of the players, the free agents, the mechanics of the game? I understand that. But the frustration, even though I'm sounding frustrated, which I am, the frustration dissipates each year because you almost become desensitized to losing the same exact way.
Yeah, but to me, it is not the same exact way. I thought last year they beat themselves, and they were kicking the ball all over the place, fumbling the baseball all over the place, whatever it may be, sloppy on the base pads, running into outs, just not being a fundamentally sound team, and mistakes are going to happen. Last night that happens with Jazz. Obviously, it's not good. It's a big spot, and Jazz plays, half the time with his head up his rear end. His 30-30 season, you could take that and throw it in the trash because you watch him in a big spot, and that's what he does. Like, give me Clement all day long over Jazz. I don't even know what Clement's season numbers were.
Yeah, he's a baller.
I'll take him over. But then Jazz has the athleticism and the 30 home runs and the 30 stolen bases, and everybody falls in love with him. But then he does that. But this is bigger than just one error. So we could focus on that and say, well, the sloppy Yankees. That, to me, would be not reading this situation the right way. This team was built to mesh. The one thing they didn't do in this postseason was hit consistently enough. Like, there's no excuse. I said it. Toronto was a better offensive team than Boston. So we knew that coming in. What I didn't anticipate was twofold. The Yankees starters, which are getting getting paid a ton of money. The Yankees starters with Fried and Rodon in particular not doing the job. And even more than that, the Blue Jays pitching, shutting down the Yankees. Like, you want to say one thing with your Savage, okay, fair enough. Didn't know about this kid. Nobody knows about him. Here he is bursting on the scene. Was as nasty as they come first time they see them. How do you excuse a bullpen game shutting down the Yankees at Yankee Stadium? That can't happen. This big, bad Yankee lineup with 30 home run hitters up and down the order, they can't even score runs. That can't happen. So to me, it's not the same way. Now, that has been something that has plagued them in the past. Yes, not this version of the Yankee team, though. Last year, their issue was the fundies, the little things. People mocked them for it. They cleaned that up with Plan B. They didn't hit in the postseason this year.
Well, to me, when I talk about like the repeated offenses, if you will, it's the empty at bats. And listen, yes, the Yankees became a better defensive team this year. Bellinger with a great play. That was a very tough play. And he's obviously a very good outfielder. But I'm talking about, obviously, the Jazz double play. And Jazz keeps running his mouth. We're the best team. We're this. And then he's got a chance. He's swinging like he's Reggie Jackson. He hit a $160. Had the biggest error of the playoffs so far. Well, not so far, but had the biggest error of the playoffs. The Yankees consistently, whether it's this year, whether it's last year, whether it's 2022, we can just keep going backwards and backwards and backwards. The Yankees send too many guys up there who are mash or whiff.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, so what I'm talking about,
that's the philosophy of the organization that clearly, like, you saw it head on, their philosophy versus the complete opposite, and you saw which one worked.
Oh, there's no question. And listen, it's funny because a lot of people still tell us, well, you know, some of these stats don't matter. It's antiquated. I understand that there's an emphasis on other aspects of baseball, whether it's the OPS, the on-base stuff. Understood clearly. You give me a team that puts the ball in play or fouls off 5 or 6 pitches, even if they make out, they are forcing the opposing pitcher to labor. They are seeing more pitches, so they're next at bat. If that pitcher's still in, they've got a better read. The guy who's on deck, and when you see them looking at the iPad, when you give a 7-8 pitch at bat, you have a better chance to have success when you step in the batter's box. Last night, bases juiced, Austin Wells' first pitch, he swung.
I mean, what is
we texted
he doing?
about that.
Yes.
But that's what I mean. I understand that baseball is hard. I understand that baseball is random. But the Yankees make baseball look harder for a really good, they're not a great team, for a really good team. Their low points are lower than any really good team. Now, I'm not sitting here watching every pitch of the Padres or the Cubs or some of the other series, but I would almost venture to guarantee that there's no really good team that looks one way during the season and then just has a complete drop-off. Dude, they're lucky they beat the Red Sox. If Durant doesn't drop that soft liner with Judge and the play down the line with the pop-up, like, they are lucky that they beat the Red Sox.
The Red Sox just don't have the lineup, especially being banged up.
But they still could have lost that series.
Yeah, well, understood, but they didn't. I mean, they won that series. You got to give them credit for that. I will say, though, at their high points, and this is where people like myself got sucked into this, the Yankees' high points, like the appeal of the Yankees is that the lineup at any moment, one swing of the bat, and we've seen it a million times over for years, especially at Yankee Stadium. Even last night, like, honestly, I did not give. I was texting with buddies. I was texting with you a little bit. I still did not believe the Yankees were going to lose that game, even being down 5-1 in the ninth inning, 5-2 in the ninth inning at that point. I felt a rally was coming because I know it's just one swing away. It's a walk, a bloop base hit. All of a sudden, the crowd gets into it. The Blue Jays pitcher soils himself, and boom, a blast from Austin Wells changes everything, or whoever it may be. That's where they're elite, is that they're dangerous in the batter's box where one swing can change the game. So when they're on, it looks like, oh, my God, here we go again. Yankees mashing home runs. When they're off, that's what you see. And far too often, you're right. In the regular season, it's different. Look at the numbers than it is in the postseason. And that can't happen. I did think it was going to be different. I didn't think Toronto had the pitching to quiet the Yankees. They shut them down. Toronto dominated this series.
The old Yankee teams would have absolutely destroyed this Toronto pitching staff. They would have whacked them. Because you would have gotten better at bats. I mean, what did I hear coming? I think it was Jerry, or maybe it was with Boomer and Gio. I don't know which one said it, but, you know, Toronto was like second fewest strikeouts in baseball. We talk about the number one batting average with runners in scoring position, and the Yankees were like 29th or 30th in strikeouts. That stuff matters. That matters. And they just keep rolling out the same stuff. And the bottom line is this, too, Sal. Like, Aaron Judge, phenomenal. I mean,
you can't blame him anymore.
No,
the excuse of, well, Judge hasn't carried them. Nope.
That's out the window.
Yeah.
What he's done so often during the regular season, even 2023 when the Yankees didn't make the playoffs, we ran into the wall in Dodger Stadium, he may have won the MVP that year, maybe, or finished second. And I believe if he doesn't miss 60 games, whatever it was, Yankees would have been a playoff team that year as well. I don't think they would have gone anywhere, but they probably would have made it. The point is that Aaron Judge has masked so much wrong with this team. You don't have a leadoff hitter. I don't want to see Trent Grisham on the team anymore. I don't care if Trent Grisham, unless he's the fourth outfielder, if Trent Grisham said, I love it here, I want to come back on a one-year deal, I don't even know if I want him back. And listen.
By the way, he wouldn't be the worst thing, but you can't have him bat leadoff to your point.
You want to bat him 6, you want to bat him 7, you want to bat him 8, that's fine. I'm not saying there's no value. Right. You can sit him against lefties, tough lefties, but the flailing at soft stuff away.
I would have pitched hit for him.
I don't know how Aaron Boone didn't pitch it for Anthony Volpe.
Yeah.
I don't know how Anthony Volpe was allowed to hit, not the last time when Rosario stepped in and got a hit for him, not the second to last time. Listen, the Yankees have a major problem with their shortstop and center and other spots. And you know what? They deserve to lose. Here we go.
Well, look, I mean, we have 4 hours to get to this, and we will get into it. It's, to me, the same thing that I was saying in season. I don't like the way that they're constructed, and that is exposed when you play a good team in a short series.
Always is.
But they keep getting away with it because you can't argue the regular season success. I said it last year. I didn't think they were good last year. They still won the division and got to a World Series. Now, what happened was the other teams got better, and the Yankees didn't change their philosophy. They also don't develop the young players. Probably there's a million things to get into with the Yankees. They could push back and say, yeah, well, playoffs are a crapshoot. We won 94 games. But then you look at the true disparity between the Blue Jays and the Yankees, and they were dominated in this series, the Yankees, by Toronto. BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. David is calling from Brooklyn, starting us off. What's up, David?
Good afternoon, fellas. Or good morning, guys. How you doing?
What's up, Dave?
See, I was listening to BT's rant to start the show, and it just compelled me to call in because the Yankee standard is no longer winning a World Series. Their standard is basically pick on the bad teams well enough to make it to October, sell out the stadium for as long as you possibly can, and then get eliminated. And Cashman just wants to get to the Hall of Fame on that resume alone. His resume is basically, we make the playoffs every single year. How can you possibly hate me?
Dave, hold on one sec, Dave. Dave, let me get this out. This is really important to me. So I hear a lot of people say that, and I don't think that you're fully wrong. I think the bigger issue is that when they go in 2 seasons, they actually think that they have a World Series team. So I know that people, you got 5 home games, you made some money, Hal's fine, he's not George. I know there's elements of that are very true. I think the biggest problem is they don't know how to build the championship team. It's proven.
I agree. And it's the same thing every single year. They keep beating their heads up against the wall with the same philosophy of launch angle, hard contact rate, and terrible defense. But what good is hard contact rate if you're not making any contact?
Yep. It's not good, David. It's an excellent point. Thank you for the call. It's why we've been saying the same thing for years. Look, we're not saying that the Yankees had the best team that they've had since 2018. Aaron Boone said it. Boone said himself, as the manager of this club since 2018, this is the best Yankees team that I've had to work with. We saw what they put up numbers-wise in the regular season with the offense. You know who the pitchers were, with Rodon having a terrific year, with Max Fried being a legitimate ace, with Schlittler taking over as a dominant young rookie. And still, they got manhandled by Toronto. Like, they got to be – they think – and I do think that there were points in the season where hierarchy at least acknowledged that maybe it wasn't going to be their year. Remember, there was talk about halfway into the trade deadline, whatever maybe. They tried, but they didn't really believe that this was it. My question then would be, well, what are the answers? Because you said Dominguez was going to be great. He was a bust. You thought Volpe was going to be great. It's year 3. He's been a bust. Well, Austin Wells did not live up to the expectation. The pitchers that you paid a ton of money failed in the biggest spots. Your lineup outside of Aaron Judge failed in the postseason while they mashed in the regular season. Like, there are a million different issues here.
Oh, yeah.
But that's why I just think it's a roster construction, thought process, organizational, fundamental flaw in what it takes to win in the postseason.
It's so much bigger than Aaron Boone. I mean, it really is. And listen, that doesn't mean you have a job for life. And I'm sure there's people going to call us up and say you got to move on from Boone. Do I think that would change anything if they don't really overhaul the guts of the franchise. I don't think it would change a damn thing. But think about this. Now, he was very good last night. He didn't hit 100 once. I didn't see 100. But in some ways, it was almost more impressive than his dominance against the Red Sox because Schlittler really had a battle. And he kept the Yankees in the game, right?
And it's a better lineup.
And much better lineup. Not even close. There's no doubt. They make you work. You couldn't put hitters away, so the pitch count got up there, whatever. But the Yankees have a top 3 payroll. And their season was hanging in the balance and giving the baseball to a kid whom nobody knew anything about before the season. Now, this kid was ready to answer the bell, and I think that Cam's going to be an outstanding, if he stays healthy, I mean, I think he could be an ace. I think he could be an all-star. I think he could be terrific. He can be outstanding. But just think about that, guys. And then the season comes down to, well, should you pinch hit for the shortstop? Should you pinch hit for, who's playing first base? Is it the soon-to-be 40-year-old righty who's basically done nothing for 2 months except little blue base hits to first base? Is it the promising young lefty masher who can't catch a ground ball or looks horrible to first base? Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be that. I don't know. They're lying. I can't stand the way the Yankees are built.
By the way, the excuse early on was, well, it's Garrett Crochet. Or thinking about, well, Schoolboy could be nasty. Those are the best pitchers in the game. So you can at least be like, all right, well, if Crochet goes 8 shutout against you, 8 innings, allows 1 run, you tip your cap, nothing you can do. Okay, Yankees, much like everybody else, can't get the best pitching. The Blue Jays throw 15 guys out there last night out of their bullpen at home in a must-win game, and the Yankees can't muster a hit? Couldn't get a guy in scoring position? Like that to me, losing the game. All right, you could have made a case somehow, some way. An error, the Yankees' bullpen implodes, Schlittler not as dominant. You could have made a case for the Blue Jays scoring 6-7 runs and maybe winning this game. I did not think under any circumstance the Yankees wouldn't be able to hit against the Blue Jays bullpen.
And they got a couple of cheap ones late, although Dominguez hit that pretty well. But they got a couple late. I mean, for the most part, they're sitting on 3 knocks for the entire game.
Yeah, without getting a guy in scoring position until Jazz was up in the 8th inning, whatever it was.
Gross. I don't have another word for it, but gross. I mean, and tiring, and at this point, predictable. The empty at-bats are just a joke.
Alex is in East Quad. What's up, Alex?
Hello, Al.
Good morning, guys. The team needs an organizational reset, including Cashman and Boone, in my opinion. But it's not going to happen, as you said, so let's move on past that. I have to bring this up, guys. I was listening to you yesterday morning after they won Game 3. You're like, oh, and I forget which one of you said it. You said, it looks like the Yankee bats are waking up. Well, when you start in any game 6 players who are hitting 250 or less, and 3 of them are hitting 210, you're not going to be seeing many waking ups. So I'm not surprised by the way this went down. And you're right. It's home run or nothing. That's like a dinosaur. Now look at this. The Blue Jays were slapping the ball left, right, center, everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's an organizational reset that's needed. But when you put out, look at the batting averages of this starting team.
I know.
And that's going to destroy Aaron Judge, too. You wonder why he gets so many intentional walks. And you're right. Grisham at leadoff is insane. So you've got nobody getting on base ahead of him. And behind him, you don't really – I mean, Bellinger had a really good year. But Stanton is another hit-or-miss guy.
Yep.
So you don't really have enough.
They are. That's the point, Alex. We talked about it yesterday. But the problem is that they still have, as bad as they were in the postseason, and thank you for the call, they still have the potential to wreck a game once they step up there. That's the lure. That's the appeal. Not because it's made up out of somewhere. They did it this year. How many runs did they score in Major League Baseball this year? Where'd their offense rank? You go over the numbers all the time.
They were number 1 at OPS, number 1 in bombs.
Look at the power up and down the order. Other teams don't have that.
28th in whiffs.
Trent Grisham, a guy with 34 home runs and was a lethal bat in front of Aaron Judge all year long, was as easy and out as there was in the postseason.
Forget about the names and forget about the stats for a second. All right, close your eyes and just try to juxtapose the difference between the at-bats, plural, for Toronto and for the Yankees, right? Toronto grinds, gets ahead of the count, foul ball, keeps it a favorable hitter's count. The Yankees strike 1, strike 2, ball 1, out. And you saw that all series. You miss a fastball, you flail at something soft, the pitcher throws a show-me ball that maybe gets you to jump, so it's 1-2, bang, you're out the next pitch. 70 strikeouts. 70 in this series.
It's the same thing. You're right. It's the same thing we've been talking about forever. Philosophy, organization. Like, they needed a change 4 years ago, and they just refused to do it. And I don't understand. I don't understand what more they need to say. The pushback is always going to be, 94 wins in the regular season, always in the playoffs. That's great. This is the longest drought.
I saw that. I know.
Since they've won a World Series, since they were the Yankees.
Yeah, I saw that. 1903.
Yeah, from the Highlanders to the Yankees until they won their first one. Since they won their first one, we are now living in the midst of the longest drought between championships in Yankees history.
And guess when the second one was? For the time I was like 7, all the time up to my early 20s.
The year I was born, 79 to 96, obviously.
Correct.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
BT and Sal on the Fan. So due to unforeseen circumstances, the Listen for a Chance to Win New York Giants versus Philadelphia ticket giveaway, originally scheduled to take place on Tuesday, October 7th, 2025 at 11 a.m., will now take place today, Thursday, October 9th, 2025, between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. So make sure you listen to that. More information and the complete rules for this contest are available at www.wfan.com/rules. And if you need to know what happened there, just search www.hoffisamoron.com. All right, stop dealing. Stop dealing with your neck pain, backache, sciatica, and go to Dr. Jay Shaw at Samwell Institute for Pain Management, a migraine and nerve pain specialist who gets you back to feeling yourself again with minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Dr. J for pain-relieving solutions. Same day, next day appointments available with offices in Colonia, Livingston, and Englewood, New Jersey. Turn to Samwell Pain for effective pain-relieving solutions. Visit SamwellPain.com.
This is science. You can't bet against a coach who wears a fishing vest.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
They are a much better defense than I gave them credit for before the season started.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And The Fan, always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's creoninfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey iHeart.
On the Fan, 888-808-1019. You know, prior to Game 3, remember I was saying the first 2 hours I was like, I still believe the Yankees are going to win. Like, I don't think that this series is over by a long shot. The way that the first 2 games got away from, let's see what happens in the Bronx. I need to see it to believe it with the Blue Jays. And then as the show went on, I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, I really don't trust Rodon against this lineup.
Yep.
And maybe like we're ignoring the evidence of what we saw in the regular season and the way the Blue Jays do things in comparison to the way the Yankees did things, head to head, what the Blue Jays did. The first 2 games,
7-1 up there in the Rogers Center. Toronto was,
yeah, including then the first 2 postseason games, and it was like, man, but. Then that game played out like the way that it started was like, holy cow, we were ignoring the evidence. The Blue Jays just flat out better.
Yeah.
And then they soiled themselves and the Yankees come back and the offense gets going. Blue Jays dropping the ball over the place. Like, it would be hard to believe that the Yankees wouldn't score runs and compete at a high level against a bullpen game. Like, that was the sentiment. You look at the odds last night, not that that's the be-all, end-all, but the Yankees were 2-1 favorites to win that game last night. Everybody was expecting them to, at the very least, get back to a Game 5. You know, if not winning Game 5, just, well, at least they'll get back to a Game 5 and then we'll see. And the Yankees laid an egg against 8 different guys, however many different guys it was, out of the bullpen. I still can't believe they didn't hit.
I thought Schneider did a good job.
Yeah.
I felt like every time there was a spot to do some damage, it was a lefty-on-lefty situation. You know, Grisham, 2 for 17 in this series. Volpe, 1 for 15, 11 strikeouts. I think Anthony could have been at the plate for 9 hours straight, and he's not getting hit. He's that lost. Rice, 2 for 11, 5 strikeouts. Bellinger, who we all love, did nothing of impact outside of, some defensive plays and the cosmetic home run over the weekend up in Toronto. I think maybe if you take the Yankees started well, then they bottomed out, and then they played really good baseball for 2 months. So when they made some trades and they tightened things up, right? I think if it would have been flipped, right? say if they would have staggered to the finish line, this would have been more the expectation.
Right.
But because it seemed like they buttoned things up and they got a little bit better.
Healthier.
I think that the health improved. I think for me.
They did catch the Blue Jays as far as the win total go.
They matched them, just didn't have the tiebreaker. Right. I thought the Yankees went from being non-viable in terms of a world championship team to viable. And they looked anything but. I mean, Toronto absolutely punked them.
I don't know if you'll agree with this, but I was just thinking about this in real time. I almost feel like the Yankees were more competitive in the World Series last year. Because I was thinking, my next point was going to be, what'd you think of Boone last night? Well, last year in the World Series, you could say, man, if he didn't go to Cortez there, or one thing changes, or Soto makes a better play in the outfield, or Gleyber doesn't have his head up, whatever, maybe that series could have changed. Obviously, Game 5, the Yankees messing up all over themselves, that got away from them. To me, there was more reason to believe that they were more competitive in that series against the Dodgers than they were in this series, where even in the game that they won, they were down 6-1. They didn't pitch. They didn't hit. At times, they made mistakes as well. This was, to me, a rout of a 4-game series, even though the Yankees did get on the board with a win.
It's funny. It's an interesting way of looking at it. Not that it changes anything, but, to me, of course, I hope they would beat the Dodgers. I knew the Dodgers were a lot better.
Understood.
I'm saying maybe the Soto Judge train pulls them into a championship. Yeah. Of course, we're all feeling that after the home runs against the Guardians.
But think about it. We can nitpick and say, well, Boone made a mistake in Game 1, which cost the Yankees and set the series up back. This was not. You could say, well, you would have pinch hit for Volpe. The game was over. The series was over by then anyway. So it's not like one managerial move or one mistake. Even the Jazz error, the Yankees weren't hitting. So I don't look at it as they played fundamentally poor baseball. The manager made a couple of bad decisions. They just got outclassed by the far better team.
Yeah, I think this stings more because, rightly or wrongly, as the season ended, I thought the Yankees were either right there with Toronto or maybe even slightly better, where I never thought that with the Dodgers. And by the way, Toronto, they didn't even have Bichette.
I know.
I mean, come on.
And dude, they were the
100 RBI guy.
They were the worst. They finished last in the division last year.
I know they did.
There were reasons to not believe in the Blue. They haven't been back to a championship series since 2016. They had to me, they had to prove it. I admit, I was blind, ignorant to it. I just thought the Yankees were going to be. I can't even believe that the Yankees and Aaron Judge, I know Judge did all he could, but the Blue Jays punked the Yankees.
Smoked them.
On the field in the regular season, verbally, and the Yankees let them get away with it. This was their chance. They had a chance to beat them for the division, fell just short with the tiebreaker. Then it's okay, here we go. The two trains that ended up tied, but the Blue Jays had the advantage. Now it's time to pay back and show what the Yankees are made of. And the Blue Jays punked them even worse.
I don't see enough gamers. I mean, you can use the word gamers, ball players, dogs, whatever it might be. I feel like every time the Yankees get banged out, whether it's Houston, whether it's the Dodgers, whether it's this year at Toronto, going back to the Bregmans and the Altuves and the Toronto players this year and all the Dodgers stars, but also the grit that the Dodgers had, I just feel like the Yankees just don't have grit.
Giovanni's calling from Baltimore. What's up, Giovanni?
Hey, good morning, fellas. How we doing?
Hey.
Good.
All right. Let's look at some good things, right? The evolution of Boone throughout the playoffs, right? When everyone was just bagging on him, what are you doing? What is this and that? It looks like they gave him, the front office gave him a little bit of leash, and he was making the right calls. I think maybe, hopefully, for next year, the front office kind of see hey, maybe we kind of pull away a little bit from analytics and allow Boone to do a couple things. And maybe that guy, he can take us another level. Having A-Rod on the show earlier this week and some of the things that he said last night was just pure facts, right? We can't blame Boone, right? We have to blame the front office. And a little bit, maybe not Cashman, but more of the owner.
One thing I just want to stop you, Giovanni, because there were misfacts or incorrect information, and I heard the morning show talking about it too, where Jeter and A-Rod, and I think it was more Jeter, was saying that he doesn't believe Boone is making these decisions. That nobody wants to hear it or acknowledge it. It has been reported otherwise. To a point where the front office actually didn't like some of the moves that Aaron Boone was making or didn't agree with it. So it's whether you say right or wrong with Boone's decisions, the idea that Boone wasn't making the decisions is just flat out incorrect and factually not right. So Jeter's wrong.
But we also have to look at certain factors. Do we really think, and I'm starting to kind of second guess this, Volpe, 11 strikeouts, 1 for 15 this entire maybe the idea of maybe putting Caballero in there, because some of these guys that were on the bench was putting better at bats than the starters.
Rosario. The only thing, Giovanni, and thanks for the call there. Now I'm sitting there saying you got to pinch hit for Volpe, and he did it in the last inning, and Dominguez ripped one to right center. But I thought it should have happened earlier myself. Now the only thing I will say in Boone's defense, if Caballero was fully healthy, then I think Boone dropped the ball. Anthony Volpe should not be allowed to hit in that spot. He's broken, okay? He's broken. So the previous night, remember Caballero took that swing and he was kind of, I think they even came out and looked at his hand. Mm-hmm. And then he hit like a 5-hopper, a little punch and Judy to right field. I don't know. If his hand's busted up, well, then I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass there if he can't swing the bat. But if Caballero was healthy and Boone willingly let Anthony Volpe hit there, that's just... it's unacceptable.
Yeah, we disagree there. I'm going to tell you, I have 3 mistakes that I thought Boone made during the game last night. One was the lineup and not having Ben Rice. Like, that one will drive me up a wall. I know Ben Rice hasn't looked good. Mm-hmm. He's still, in my opinion, your second best shot as an offensive player. Dude, and like you could make the case if they were pitching a lefty because Rice has looked awful against lefties. Fair enough. The logic behind not having Rice, and I know he's not good defensively, and that's part of the structural flaws with the Yankees. He's a DH. So you put him at first base, you're going to lose some defense there. You put him at catcher, you're going to lose some defense, is what it is. I want his bat in there against a bullpen game. You can't say, well, I wanted righty, lefty. Well, then you should sit McMahon at third. I know he even had the home run. Mm-hmm. Sit McMahon at third and get a righty bat in at third base. Ben Rice has to be in the lineup, especially against a right-handed starter and a bullpen game. That was number one for me.
Number 2.
I did not like him. You were texting me about the Volpe thing.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people were on that. I was okay with that. Lefty against Volpe. Like, do I trust Volpe? No. But I didn't have a big deal. I would never have let Grisham hit in the 7th inning. You had to get it to Judge with a chance to do damage with guys on. You had to. That was their shot. And as much as I understand what Grisham has done, it was lefty on lefty. Mm-hmm. And Grisham has been... he's been as bad as Anthony. Like, I know Volpe's swinging and missing, striking out. He's been just as bad. Now, you could think, well, who's going to play center? I don't care.
Well, that point, you put Bellinger in center, you put Dominguez in left. You got something. You got exactly right. Even Rosario could play the outfield.
Exactly
and
right.
And Caballero.
Exactly right. Figure it out. So I thought that was a mistake letting Grisham hit there.
Yep.
The other thing, I would not have gone to Duvall in the 8th inning. We talked about it yesterday before the game. I don't want any part of Duvall. I want it to be Schlittler into the guys that you trust. Maybe Hill, maybe Cruz, but really Williams and then Bednar. I would have gone Cruz there again. I don't know how he's feeling. Duvall would not have, in an elimination game, I would not have gone to Duvall there.
Yeah, again, we were texting about this. I feel so much more strongly about the Volpe stuff. And again, you're right. Grisham was not quite as bad with the contact, but awful. Awful. But I still felt like, maybe. Remember, he had the double the night before off the catcher's interference. I'm like, maybe he runs into one. But even his takes and even his swings were better. Volpe is, again, I think he's broken. So I don't know what they do.
And if you pinch hit for Volpe there with Caballero, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you would have just let Grisham hit? I mean, I know that the results could have been different.
I mean, so that would have been what, the 7th inning?
Was that 7th inning?
7th inning, yeah. Because then Volpe's at-bat came back around at the 9th, and that's when Dominguez got the at-bat. Right. So that would have been the 7th. Yeah, and I'm trying to think, because
you're not going to pinch hit Dominguez against the lefty.
No. Obviously. Was Rosario deployed by... Yeah, Rosario's already in the game because McMahon was out. So not many options. Not many.
So those are my 3 issues with Boone last night. Matt is calling from Queens. What's up, Matt?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, how's it going? What's going on, guys?
Yeah, not much. What's up?
Hey, BT. Yesterday you said that the Aaron Judge home run in Game 3 was the second biggest home run in your lifetime.
That's not what I said, but keep going. I'll tell you exactly what I said. I said it was my second favorite.
Second favorite. That was more of a favorite than Jim Leyritz, than Scott Brocious. Then Jeter leading off the World Series against the Mets.
Yeah.
Then Jeter missed in November.
I remember them all. I referenced some of them. I didn't even bring up the Leyritz one. Sal dropped that in. I mentioned a lot of them, because Mattingly is my all-time favorite player or athlete. So in the ALDS against Seattle, number 1. And because I was so happy for Judge, the person he is, the player he is, and certainly the magnitude to stave off elimination, but the theatrics hitting the pole. Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel. I know there were bigger ones.
An ALDS Game 3 World home run.
I know them all, Matty. I know them all, Matt. I promise you, I know them all.
But How could that be your favorite when you lose?
He just told you, Matt.
It's a personal preference thing, Matt.
And by the way, they didn't lose.
Come on.
They lost now. They won the game. And when we were talking about this yesterday, they had yet to lose. And that also doesn't take away from the moment for Judge. That's what you're missing about it. Obviously, was it as important as a home run in the World Series? By the way, in 2001, all those home runs you're talking about with the late comebacks with Tino or Brocious, they lost that World Series too.
How about the Boone home run in 2003? They lose to the Marlins, a young team.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's just a personal thing. Like, listen, I'm big on, this is just me. I've always been big on character, and I don't latch on to many athletes. And what I do, I'm in your corner for life. And, Judge was getting pounded, and some of it was fair. I think a lot of it was way off base. I was pumped because I didn't want to get swept, and by winning that game and giving yourself a chance to win, I'm like, all right. I thought they'd probably win Game 4 off the bullpen to flip a coin Game 5, hopefully keep going in the season. So it certainly had a magnitude in terms of importance. I love Aaron Judge. I love Donnie. It's my two favorite. What do you want?
And they lost the Mattingly series too. It's more than, it's not, was it the biggest home run in their history? It's your personal favorites. I mean, I have some others, but whatever. To each their own. Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
All right. Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel, because with FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot, got a little fun tonight, hopefully, Giant fans. Win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each week. Now, jumping on the Thursday action, all you got to do to place an anytime touchdown score is bet this before the game kicks off. If that player scores the first or last touchdown of the game, you'll win that bet plus a share of bonus bets. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/promo code to take a shot at the jackpot. FanDuel.com/PT for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your favorite game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, but also, as you know, the official betting partner of us here at WFAN, 21 plus, and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Must apply. Profit boost token on select market prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Eagles visit the Giants tonight, hours after the Saquon documentary drops, which is sure to open some old wounds. Speaking of which, Saquon, the running back, is nursing knee soreness and general soreness, which begs larger questions about Philly's inconsistent offense. But there's no question Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio will try and force rookie Jackson Dart to throw and throw and throw some interceptions. I'll take the Eagles 27-17 as they cover the number. I'm Boomer Esiason.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Maybe turn them into paper airplanes headed to See Ya Never AT&T and T-Mobile. Jokes aside, the best 5G network has you covered with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics True Score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary and must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person making the deal. Additional terms apply.
Rutgers football is back in Piscataway throughout the rest of the fall. Don't miss a moment. This is Coach Shiano. Keep chopping and join the fun on the Rutgers Boardwalk. Free rides, games, entertainment, parades, and more, all before every home game. It's all free family fun at the Rutgers Boardwalk. Visit us online at scarletknights.com. Don't miss a moment. See Coach Shiano and the Rutgers football team all fall long at SHI Stadium.
For over 100 years, Slomin's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Slomin's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com. FanDuel.com. Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel. Because with FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot, you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each and every week. To get in on this Thursday's action, all you have to do is place an anytime touchdown scorer bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores the first or last TD of the game, you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to take a shot at the jackpot. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
When it comes down to finding the lowest price on Michelin winter tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tires' guaranteed lowest price. And when it comes to free services, nobody gives you more free services on your Michelin winter tires than Town Fair Tire. So why look for Michelin winter tires anywhere but Town Fair Tire, where you always get the guaranteed best deals? Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Rock and roll will never die, and neither will the low prices. It's the Rocktober Savings Event at Nielsen Dodge. We've turned up the volume on Rocktober Savings on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We're rocking out the deals with zero down payment available. $1,500 overbook value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So for head-banging deals that are music to your ears, at Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, due sign Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, ag tax tag 498, docket DMV.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painter's Trust kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know. New York sports is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. WFAN is the only place where Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets fans come together and sound off. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan 1048 on this Thursday as we preside over yet another early Yankee funeral. Get back to these calls here. 888-808-1019 here. Time for the Corona Lime Time highlight of the night as the Yankees exit stage right.
Guerrero backs off at first. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. And that'll do it. The Toronto Blue Jays are going to the American League Championship Series, which starts on Sunday as Hoffman gives a very defiant look at the Yankee dugout. And here come the Blue Jays to celebrate in front of the mound.
Hey now. That was the Corona Lifetime highlight of the night, brought to you by Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. And let's face it, fitting that it's a whiff.
Yeah.
Fitting that it's a strikeout. I love Bellinger, but fitting it's a strikeout.
You have any issue with the Blue Jays celebrating the way that they did and taunting the Yanks?
No, I don't. You know what? Total honesty here. You know, I've used the word desensitized a couple of times recently, like with the Jets and even with the Yankees here with certain things. I am kind of, and this was unfathomable to think about years ago, I'm kind of used to teams celebrating in the Bronx. It's happened a lot.
You know, I was talking with JJ at SNY yesterday about that because I was like, dude, they're not losing this game. And he didn't think so either, but he's like, you know what? I have seen plenty of teams in recent years celebrate in the Bronx. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess. And then you have it again. Look, it's always going to hurt. Gio said something I thought interesting and on point this morning when he was saying, like, you're better off rooting against a team than you are rooting for a team because more often than not, the teams are going to lose. Like, even the Yankees were the most successful teams. They haven't won the World Series in 16 years.
Yeah.
So every year, if you're rooting against the Yankees, you're having success. At some point, they're going home sooner than they should. But when you root for a team and you see the other team celebrating, which also happens far too often, the champagne celebration or whatever, it's to me, there's nothing that hurts more as a sports fan than when you're in it and you get close, or you get close to getting in it, and you see the other team celebrating right in front of you with that champagne, going nuts and taunting you, and that is just the worst feeling.
But that's where you got to let them have their moment. They earned it, I think. Listen, if people fire back, I get it. Do what you got to do if it makes you feel better. But to me, that's petty. I mean, this season started no games to no games. Nobody had a win. Toronto came out, mashed them in game 1, mashed them in game 2. Yankees, based on Judge's heroics, an epic comeback, a great win game 3, and then right back to the pumpkin. So the Yankees fans that are bothered by this, I think that you just need to understand that this is becoming the norm much more than it's not. You want to be mad at the Yankees management.
Anthony's calling from Garden City. What's up, Ant?
Hey guys, good morning. How are you?
Hey,
good. What's up?
So I was thinking about it as a Yankee fan at the beginning of the season. I know we had a little bit lower expectations because losing Soto and then losing Garrett Cole. I think that the expectations for this season were lower just right off the bat with that, and we exceeded those expectations. Not that it makes the season any better that we got eliminated, but just watching it over the course of the year, and I believe it's 4 years now also, we really should go out and get ourselves a shortstop also. I mean, I don't know what's going on. He's batting 200, he's striking out like crazy, Volpe. And it seems like we're not filling that void. But I still think we should just be proud.
Think about this. I'll let you finish, Ant. The bigger picture problem here is tied into the shortstop. Anthony Volpe has been a mess for 3 years, and the Yankees have failed to acknowledge that he has not been good enough. Like, you want to say the old days? Okay, well, it's not George anymore. Okay, but even in the current days, somebody should step up and say, hey, he's not getting the job done. Why don't we send him back to the minors or trade him for somebody who will, because we're trying to win now? And that, to me, is a microcosm of what's gone wrong with the organization. And you could say that they exceeded expectations. They still didn't win the division, and they got bounced in the first round by a team who finished last in the division a year ago. Like, I don't know how that exceeds expectations.
Did we think that with Cole being out, because once they said he was going to be out for the season, and then once obviously we lost Soto, did we really think they were going to win the division in the first place? That's my question. I don't know if anybody expected them to actually win the division when Cole went out. That was like a big
Did anybody expect the Blue Jays to win? Did anybody expect the Blue Jays to win 94 games? I didn't. I thought the Red Sox would be.
I don't.
Okay, but
the Red Sox or possibly Tampa's.
Oh, all right. And how'd that work out? And thanks for the call, Ant. So I know what you're saying. But to me, that still should not be an excuse. Well, Garrett Cole went down. What do you want him to do? Well, what do you want him to do? They just signed Max Fried. Obviously, the emergence of Schlittler helped out. And also, the biggest reason why the Yankees had success, not just the pitching, but the offense in the regular season. Remember, too, there was a large portion of the season from June on pretty much until, I guess, September, maybe the end of August, mid-August. From June till mid-August, the Yankees were playing awful baseball.
Terrible baseball. And then they had the best record to finish the season, aided by, soft schedule.
Still, I mean,
they still got to win the games.
94 wins is 94 wins.
No doubt. I get you. So there was a couple of things. That was a good call. First of all, really quickly on Volpe. So if Anthony Volpe was the star that the Yankees thought he would be when they drafted him in the first round, all right, Anthony Volpe would be a 280-something hitter with 30-plus doubles and 18 to 20 home runs, and he'd have probably 30 to 40 steals, and more importantly, he'd be batting in front of Aaron Judge at the leadoff spot.
Thank you, BT. You nailed it. And I was thinking of something also last night while watching Dominguez pinch hit because I forgot he existed.
I know.
He was another guy that was – Boone said it with us. they thought about having him be the leadoff hitter. So all this knocking on the Yankees.
He did bat leadoff a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. And then quickly they went away from that. They didn't have one. Austin Wells was hitting leadoff.
On opening day when we were there, he had a home run.
So they thought their plans going in were not to have Grisham be the leadoff hitter.
I know.
And that is imperative when you have Aaron Judge hitting behind you.
Am I missing it? So Wells, Grisham, Goldie. Did Jazz get a look a couple? I don't know if he
Dominguez,
did.
you mentioned.
Dominguez got it. So they had at least 4 leadoff hitters. Now, the other thing, too, and I get what he's saying, like usually the last 10-ish years or so, my opinion on what the Yankees could be rarely changes during the season.
Right.
Like I'm usually, fairly optimistic. They're going to win 90-something games, win the division, be a playoff team, roll the dice, see what happens. This year was a little different. So I'm feeling that point because when you lose Soto, and we talked a million times about Plan B, and I was intrigued by it. But even aside from that, when you lose Cole, and I know he wasn't great up in Toronto, he was terrible, but you lose the reigning American League Rookie of the Year and Luis Heel, and he doesn't pitch for the first 4 months of the season. That's 20 starts. And then you lose Clark Schmidt, who's not a stud, but he's a stabilizer at the back of the at the back of the rotation, an innings guy with good stuff, who had Tommy John. I'm like, where are they going? And then they couldn't run the bases. That series up in Fenway in June.
Yep.
They weren't hitting. They were whiffing. And then they really did change. It's like the first Yankee team in a long time that I thought that they can win after I didn't think that they could win during the season.
Fair enough, but to me, it's not like they overachieved. What happened?
Well, they did, though. They were supposed to win 89.5 games. That was think about Vegas' over-under. Below 90. When was the last time the Yankees had it below 90?
But what I'm saying is Max Fried was supposed to be really good, and he was. Carlos Rodon, it's something you're paying him to be good, and he was. And those two guys failed miserably in the postseason. The Yankee bats, even like Grisham overachieved. Fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
Judge did what Judge does. Bellinger, Jazz was supposed to perform well, and he did when he was back in there healthy. So, a lot of the players actually underachieved a little bit with, Dominguez or Volpe, whatever you want to say there.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, as an offense, they kind of did what the Yankees were supposed to do. And then again in the postseason, they didn't. So I don't think it's where, like, we could look at the Mets last year and say, they just didn't have it. Like, they ran out of gas. They didn't have enough. They overachieved in the regular season. Eventually, it caught up with them in the postseason, going up against a team who's far better than them and the Dodgers. The Yankees, nobody thought Max Fried is not Sean Manaea. Max Fried's getting $218 million. He's got to be an ace. Same thing with Rodon. Those guys were not flukes in there. If anything, it was Schlittler who was maybe like, I don't know about a rookie, and he was the best one of the bunch by far. And then the same thing about the offense. Okay, Grisham, that ran its course. He had a great regular season, ran out a little bit in the postseason, but to a man outside of Aaron Judge, playoff Stanton, he did nothing.
Missed 4 months.
He didn't,
and the playoffs, he was awful.
As I'm saying, did nothing in the postseason. So guys that actually have a track record that you expected to produce did not produce in the postseason.
There's one thing, we'll do this coming up next. One thing that Yankee fans should be most, not even bothered by, most worried by. I'm going to hit it with you coming up.
BT and Sal on the Fan.
It's Evan and Kiki. Afternoons on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
If you look at the history of the New York Yankees, they don't get swept very often. Obviously, 2022 in the ALCS against Houston. But before that, a decade earlier, they got swept by the Detroit Tigers in the ALCS. And if I ask any Yankee fan, what do you remember about that ALCS? There's only one thing they remember, and it was Jeter getting hurt.
Listen to Evan and Kiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store, and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store, and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metric true score report dated 1H 2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Hey, New York, the hated Eagles are coming to town tonight. This is Chris Hodge from Sports Investors Daily and TakingVegas.com. We have a free pick for you. Just text the word WIN to the number 545454. That's text the word WIN to the number 545454. Hey, let's keep it real. If you're a fan of the Jets, if you're a fan of the Giants, you're having a garbage season. It's pretty much already over. But for all the New York fans, you know you want to beat Philadelphia. So this is a tough game tonight. text the word win to the number 545454. Giants getting about a touchdown. Tough game to call with Philly coming off a bad loss last week to Denver. And obviously, the Giants doing what they do, losing to New Orleans. So we'll figure this one out for you tonight. It's free on the text line. Just text the word win to the number 545454. Free pick winner Thursday night to start the NFL Week 6. Text the word win to the number 545454.
My man, Dr. Jay Shah, specializing in minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments for neck, back, and sciatica, migraines, and so much more, offers pain-relieving solutions. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Samwell Pain for all their aches and pains. Visit SamwellPain.com.
Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why Rewards members get free standard shipping on what they need to get the job done. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Long Island is brewing some spooky fun at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. We're celebrating this October for our $50,000 Witchy Wednesdays drawing. Be here on Wednesday, October 1st, 15th, and 29th from 3 to 7 p.m. when 2 winners will be drawn every hour to pick a witch's hat and win up to $5,000 cash. Club members can conjure up to 5 times entry multipliers. Fly over to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
At Skechers, comfort is a technology. That's right. You don't just make a shoe and hope it comes out comfortable. It takes research, innovations, compounds, engineering, and so much more to feel so comfortable you'd swear you're wearing pillows on your feet. We have features like Skechers Air-Cooled Memory Foam and fits like Relax Fit, Stretch Fit, Wide Fit, Arch Fit, and so many more to make the shoe feel like it was custom-made just for your foot. Plus, we have hands-free Skechers Slip-ins technology. Just step in and go. Find yours at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
HL Gross Jewelers of Garden City is Long Island's premier engagement and wedding ring destination. Visit HL Gross today or online at hlgross.com.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
And this report brought to you by Dr. Jay Shah at Samwell Pain Management. Visit SamwellPain.com. Pain for the Yankees last night because their season ended. They lost to the Blue Jays 5-2. As everything came crashing down, falling 3-1. The Blue Jays using 8 pitchers to win the decisive game and advance into the ALCS for the first time since 2016. And for Giancarlo Stanton, what exactly happened here?
Didn't execute when we needed to. Obviously, the importance of each game, the importance of mistakes, the importance of good at-bats and big moments, timely at-bats, timely pitches. We just didn't do it as well as they did.
Thoughts from Jazz Chisholm Jr., who had a pretty big error that led to a couple of runs. He says very, very difficult.
When you believe in your team and to come to an end like this and end your season like this, I mean, you can't help but to be upset, you know, just knowing the talent that we have in this room, knowing the group of guys we have in here and how much togetherness that we had in here, it's just really hard.
Blue Jays move on. They'll play the winner of the Tigers and Mariners series, which is even at 2 games apiece. The Dodgers still lead the Phillies 2-1, though Philadelphia won 8-2 last night. The Brewers a 2-1 series lead on the Cubs, but Chicago did win 4-3. Opening night for the Devils and Islanders, New Jersey at Carolina. The Islanders skate in Pittsburgh, Rangers tonight in Buffalo, and the Giants face the Eagles as Week 6 in the NFL opens up. We'll have all the action on the Fan, 8:15 kick coverage at 6:30 p.m. This report brought to you by Moderna. It's 58 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Put WFAN in your contact list. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
The BT and Tal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. We'll get into a little Giants football as they play the Eagles tonight at MetLife BT. Hopefully the Giants can have a chance to win that game, but we'll do that later on, obviously focusing on the Yanks still.
Yeah, there's no doubt. All right, so listen, obviously there's an emotion that everybody has, and Yankee fans are angry. Another early exit, tons of strikeouts, an untimely error, stuff we've seen way too often. But that's the obvious stuff. To me, I'm going to simplify it, and anger should not really be the emotion. That should dissipate by now. It should be fear. Because I don't believe that the Yankees, as they huddle and they plot out the future, I don't believe that they're even remotely alarmed about not being good enough to win a World Series. I believe the conversation right now, as they sit around, and maybe it's not today, but certainly in the next couple of days here, as they reconvene and they start to strategize, who's available, who can leave, all the things we got to do, I don't think there's anybody that's got any juice in that building who's going to look up or stand up and say, you know what? Hey, we're not doing it the right way. We've got to explore something else. It's going to be the same stuff. It's going to be the same stuff.
Well, if that's the case, then why would we expect a different result?
We wouldn't. That's my point.
Yeah,
and why wouldn't it be the case? Because we've had these conversations for years
I know.
now.
It's the same thing. So rinse, repeat. Fire Cashman, fire Boone. That's what everybody says.
Yep.
And then in season, they win 90-plus games, and it's like, oh, here we go. We have a chance. And then they fail in the postseason, and then it's fire Cashman, fire Boone. They don't know. And then they win 90-plus games into the postseason. Like, it's every year.
I know.
It's the same thing.
I know.
And then when they miss the postseason, you would think, okay, well, maybe now this is a chance to where they see that it's not as rosy as they think, and they still don't do anything.
Nothing.
Like, they've had opportunities to make a change. And I said this, I keep referencing it because it's all I could do is reference the past. In 2021, when the Yankees for the first time were struggling in the regular season, pre-Anthony Rizzo, Joey Gallo trade, I said that's when I would make a change, because prior to that point, it was always success in the regular season to the highest of levels, fail in the postseason because the offense didn't do what they did in the regular season. And then that year, to me, wasn't good enough. They barely made the playoffs, but they did make it, and they lost in the wild card game. I would have made a change. 2022, they come out, they look like the 98 Yankees. That's a comparison. 98 Yankees. We all knew that it was not real, but that was the comparison. Then they get there, and then they get to the LCS, even though they weren't even on the same stratosphere as
JV against Houston.
Okay, but they can push back and say, well, we got to the ALCS.
Which is what they said.
Yeah, exactly.
They were a step away for the World Series.
Then they miss the postseason in 2023. Like, there's plenty of evidence where even we talk about, well, the Yankees, their history of making the playoffs every year. There's evidence in those few years, 2021, 2022, 2023, where they just weren't good enough in 3 consecutive years. Then they went out there and got Juan Soto. And even then, they weren't a good enough team. And to me, the reason that they got there was the Judge-Soto historic combo, plus the other teams weren't any good. The Royals, the Guardians, and not on the level of the Blue Jays or even the Mariners or even maybe Tigers this year. Like, the AL competition
it's gotten
has
better.
raised.
Yep.
And now this year, the Yankees, you could argue, are better. Boone himself said that they're better since he's been here, 2018, a long time, said that they're better, and yet they got bounced in the second round by a team who finished in last place a year ago in really what was a non-competitive series.
Listen, you use the term rinse and repeat, and that's what they're doing. Like, it's one thing to lose and have, conversations at the end of a season like, hey, what happened? Where do we come up short? Not only do they lose early, they lose the same way.
Remember when we first got paired together? It was the summer of 2023.
Yeah.
And both the
Judge was out at this point, right? Judge,
Yeah.
was he back? Did he get back at this point?
We did have some bet where he was going to come back and hit homer, so he might have been out.
Oh, that's right.
That was like one of our
Yeah,
first
I won
bets.
that one.
But
That's right.
That was when the Mets were trading Verlander and Scherzer, and I came in with the bag over my head with the Mets.
One of my favorite shows, Sal.
And exactly.
That was hysterical.
And you were saying that you wanted the Yankees to bleed out.
Bingo.
And the reason for that is because you thought that if they bled out, changes would be made because what they were doing wasn't leading to success.
Yep.
They did bleed out. They didn't make any changes, and here we are years later with the same thing.
I know. I mean, listen, I don't think I'm alone. I think maybe I've read this a little bit earlier than a lot of Yankee fans here, but I've been saying this for a long time. I mean, just go and search Google. I mean, whether it's the Cashman thing, the right to rebuild, bleed out, it's so obvious that they just don't have enough guys who could put the ball in play, run the bags. Again, better this year for sure. That's why I was more optimistic this year, but still not good enough, period.
I was going to say better, but really was it? Like a lot of the talk was, well, nobody else is really that great either. And they are the Yankees, and they mashed their way to overcome some of those other things. Yes, it was better than what it was for the majority of the last several seasons. Like they did get better defensively and did clean up certain things. But
you know what it was too, Sal? The starting pitching excited me. Yeah. Now I misread Rodon in the biggest spot.
And who thought Fried wouldn't do any?
I know that nobody. If your best pitcher doesn't pitch well, then nobody's going to play well. Understood. But I looked at the staff. I'm like, okay, now at least you always had a Tanaka or a CC. You always had one guy, maybe obviously Cole when he was healthy. But this team for a while was trotting out multiple guys who can shut you down.
Right.
And we all know the names, and they haven't had that. That's why I say, to me, it's the best roster since 2009, but it's still not good enough.
Understood. And you could also look at the lineup and say, well, look at how deep they are because everybody's a threat to hit a home run. They have how many 20 home run hitters, 30 home run hitters. But yet, again, the biggest bugaboo, the defense is come and gone, the sloppiness come and gone. For the most part, like they tighten that up. Again, I know Jazz made the big error. That's not why they lost the series, where you could point to last year and say at some point it was going to catch up with them, and it did in the World Series. The one thing that has happened consistently for years, going back to 2017, has been that their regular season offense does not match the offensive levels in the postseason. That's been them. Even the pitching got beat up in Toronto. That's not why they lost this series. They lost because they didn't hit.
Well, that's the first thing that I said to start the show. If you guys missed it, check out the free Odyssey app. Like, show me a team that looks one way for most of the season, if not the entire season. I know there's peaks and valleys over 162, but in totality, whether you're a speed team, a power team, a low strikeout team, a high strike, whatever it is, they look one way basically for 5 or 6 months, and then every time they get bounced in October, Astros, Dodgers, Blue Jays, they look like a completely different team. I'm challenging to show me the team that flips that crazily. There is no, but I'm not saying like for 1 year, but this is every season.
I know. From in regular season to the postseason, well, it's different. It's the organization philosophy.
Not changing anything. They're not changing anything.
Right, but until they do, it's just going to be roll the dice and hope that 1 year they break through. Lawrence is in Oklahoma City. What's up, Lawrence?
Hey, guys. Thanks for getting me on. If the Yankees cannot win a World Series with Aaron Judge, it's going to be criminal for baseball. He is not just like a good player. He's like, all time. I just can't believe that they're not going to consider making a change. He's 33 years old. How long do you really think your window is? You know what I mean? Seriously, you got 2 years. I give you 2 years. And Cashman, he won 4 World Series, and 3 of them were in a row, though. And while that's even harder, when you do it with a really good team, is it harder when you already have a team assembled to win 3 in a row? It's been years. If you win 4 World Series, that's good. But when you're putting the team on the longest drought of being in a championship, winning a championship, what does it not even out? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Remember, Cashman will be Cashman, Lawrence will be the first to tell you, and thank you for the call, that the Yankees should have won a World Series in 2017, and they were robbed by the cheating Astros. That's always his pushback when we say, well, you haven't won a World Series since 2009. It's, but 2017 was our year. Which, by the way, you did it with a manager that you couldn't wait to get out of town with Joe Girardi. Like Cashman likes to reference 2017. That was our year to win a championship. You had already made the decision on moving on from Joe Girardi. So maybe he did you a favor by not winning the championship. But anyway, point is, you didn't win it, whether they cheated or not, and there were no guarantees you're going to win in the World Series. And the facts are, this is the longest drought that the Yankees have had in their history in between titles, and nothing has changed. And they think they're better than they are. Whether it's Dominguez, Volpe, the offense in the postseason, their strategy, the all or nothing. they think they're better than they are. They believe the regular season success is proof of that, and that it's just been bad luck in the postseason.
And that's why they're wrong. And that's why they're not going to win again until somebody steps up and says, we got to change this. And that somebody's going to have to be Hal because he's got the hammer. I don't think it happens. Hey, by the way, you talk about, Judge and what Lauren said about how sad it will be, or criminal, whatever word to use, for Judge not to win a World Series. Yeah. Well, hey, guys, that's baseball. And you've got a long list, whether it's Ted Williams, whether it's Griffey Jr., whether it's Ernie Banks, whether it's Bonds, whether it's Yaz, whether it's Carew, whether it's Cobb, whether it's the great Tony Gwynn, rest in peace. I mean, there are some titans of the game that not only didn't win, Ernie Banks never even got to the World Series. And you don't really see that quite as much in the NBA because you can will yourself. I mean, Ewing doesn't have one, but most of the AI doesn't have one. But most of the all-time great players, they've got one or they've got two. Baseball's different. It's and Boone said that last night. He was very honest, and I appreciated this. He said, "Listen, it hurts. It's harsh." It's baseball, and it wasn't like an excuse like, oh, it's hard or it's random. It's just like sometimes it's cruel. And Boone was crushed last night. You could tell.
I genuinely felt bad for Boone and Judge last night.
No question.
Nobody else. And I know other people played hard and whatever, but specifically Judge, who played his ass off in the postseason and did all he could. If he didn't have a good postseason, we'd probably be saying the same thing where, well, look, it's another postseason where Judge dominated the regular season, didn't dominate the postseason. Is that the reason why they didn't win? Who knows? But there was a drop-off. There was not the drop-off. This was finally the year where start to finish of the postseason, although it was way too short, there was no drop-off. He was Aaron Judge, the beast, in the postseason. So I felt badly for him, and I felt horribly for Boone, who just, he has less control of it than the players do. He loves this team more than anybody. He wears it more than anybody. He's as great a competitor as there is, even from a manager's perspective. He wants it. He believed in this team. Maybe even to a fault where he's got a little bit of a soft spot or a blind spot for certain aspects of it, but he truly believed this was the best team that he had and believed that they had a chance to beat the Blue Jays, and yet his team got punked and sent home way too soon. So I felt bad for both Boone and Judge.
I'm going to have a soft spot for the kid forever as long as he's here. I also felt really bad for Volpe because, when you're getting booed that vociferously, and he deserved it.
Different kind of feel bad.
It's a different kind of feel bad. There's no question. Like, is he going to be back feel bad? Is he going to have to compete for a job? Like, what is he thinking? I'm just trying to put myself in his shoes.
All right, well, then you remember go home to his beautiful girlfriend.
That's true. Listen, the mood changed pretty quick here. She is. She's a stunner. I'm with you, man. He's doing well there. No disrespect. That's a compliment. I'm not trying to sound like a weird old guy here, but I just imagine being and I love these stories, a local kid who's a high school star, first-round pick of the Yankees. Your dad's a massive Yankee fan. You bust your ass. It's not because he's not a hard worker, and you can't even make contact. I can't imagine those walks back to the dugout for Volpe.
I felt bad for him in a different way. You're right. Larry is calling from Danbury, Connecticut. What's up, Larry?
Hey, how we doing, guys? Another brutal loss. Tough night. This is going to be probably an unpopular opinion, but you talk about roster construction. A-Rod talked about it. We've talked about it. I called last year and talked about it with you guys.
Right.
Okay.
I think A-Rod got it from us, as a matter of fact. We've been talking about it for a year and a half.
I think, and BT, I think it starts with Stanton. And listen, I love the guy. And when they bring him back years from now, I'll be the first one cheering for him. He's owned it. He's been big. But the nucleus behind the poor roster construction, it starts with Stanton. If you can trade him where you can get something for him now, 2-3 years ago you couldn't. Nobody would touch him. Now, with what he's done, you can trade him. Okay, you move on from him. He misses half the year anyway.
You don't got to tell Larry. We've been talking about that for years.
I know. The pieces fall into place, though. Ben Rice can be the full-time DH because he doesn't have a position.
Okay.
You bring back Bellinger, which they're going to want to do anyway. You put him at first base. Now you got a real infield because he can play first too.
I don't know if I like wasting Bellinger. I like that he's flexible.
Yeah.
But I love him in the outfield. But anyway, you could put him a little bit outfield and first. Go ahead, keep going.
But you got two young kids coming. You can either make the decision to go with the two kids in the outfield, Dominguez and Jones, or you make a run at Tucker and you let Caballero take that job at short. And the only person battling Caballero is Lombard.
Lombard. Yeah, that's interesting. Larry, I think you bring up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. You make some really, really good points.
I know, but we're too much relying on the young guys again. I know you're going to have to some extent.
Yeah. Well, let's talk through it for a second. Yeah. So, and I'm with you. I love Bellinger in the outfield. I mean, he is just a beast out there.
I feel like you're wasting him at first. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. He is a plus outfield defender. He'd also be a plus defensive first baseman. Now, is it easier to find an outfielder or a first baseman? I don't know, but I don't want Grisham on the team next year. I don't want him.
All right,
so get Grisham off the page. Bellinger in center.
Bingo. Okay, now we're talking.
Or you have Jones, and I don't know if this would work. You have Jones and Dominguez battle it out in spring training. Right. The winner of that,
stays up and plays every day.
Yeah, but I can't have Dominguez play left field. And then that might, if he's up for the task, and I don't know if he will be, Bellinger in left, maybe Dominguez or Jones in center.
Does Jones play center?
He profiles as a center. He plays not
but
a ton.
We know Dominguez. Like I know you.
He's not left fielder.
I know, but I know you want him in center.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to stand on the desk and say, scream and shout, he's a center fielder, but I do know he's not a left fielder.
So, but here's in part of the problem, which is why, you can't have Ben Rice, who can't do anything else but DH, and Dominguez, who can't be in the outfield.
But I don't agree that he can't be a center fielder. I at least want the answer.
But I think they're telling you the answer by having him play left and not play center field.
Or in their minds, is Grisham so superior defensively that it was tough to justify, even if they thought that Dominguez could be good or solid in center, he'll never be Grisham. So while you have Grisham, run Grisham out in center. I don't know the answer, but it's possible.
I would try to trade Dominguez. Now, again, I don't know what the value is.
Oh, I'm okay if they trade.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Just to try to clean up some of the...
He ain't untouchable, that's for sure.
To me, Bellinger's got to be back. That's for number one.
Definitely.
You put him in center field, Judge is in right.
Yep.
And then you can start to build it out from there. You want to give Spencer Jones a look? Sure, I guess. But what would give me confidence that anybody we've heard about Volpe, we've heard about Dominguez, now we're hearing about Spencer Jones, we hear about Lombard. I don't know. I'm not ready to write them in. Now, you could live with one or two, and you hope that it's going to be successful. And maybe there's reason to believe that it would, but we've also seen it flop. I believe that Dominguez was going to be far better than what he was this year. I also thought Volpe was going to be better. It's been 3 years, and he got significantly worse. There's been massive regression. Austin Wells, same thing. So there are reasons to question some of the young players.
100%. I mean, we're questioning pretty much everything with the Yankees right now.
Would you bring Jazz back?
I would be open to trading Jazz. I don't think he's a winner.
Okay, well, that's another thing.
I don't think he's a winner.
Me too. But now think about what we're talking about. Maybe trade Dominguez. Maybe trade Jazz. Get rid of Stan.
That's a lot of moving parts. Listen, it's Bellinger, it's Grisham, it's Goldie, it's Devin Williams, it's Luke Weaver, it's Rosario. I want Bellinger back. Grisham could take a walk. No disrespect. Goldie, get lost. Devin Williams, if he wanted to come back on the cheap and be a setup, whatever, that's fine. Luke Weaver, get lost. Rosario, I'm okay on a cheap deal. I mean, I don't want any of these guys back.
Get lost.
Yeah.
Get lost.
Hit the road, man. I mean, you hit 230, and that was like this season for Grisham was like his Rod Carew season.
Right.
He's usually we talked about this. He's usually 180, 190.
See,
that's who he is.
I would take him if I'm the Mets, let's say, who desperately need a center fielder and want to, at least maybe start the year. And look, they signed Jose Siri a year ago. I would take him, assuming that it's going to be a 1 or 2 year deal, max probably 1 year deal, and he's going to hit 6th or 7th.
Yeah.
Not first.
Yeah. Well, you have a leadoff hitter in Lindor.
Yeah, right.
You got you to it. Hopefully Pete's back.
No,
and by the way, Pete had their baby today.
Congratulations to the
Alonso crew.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe the Yankees, I don't think it's a good fit. But in that circumstance, if you just needed the center fielder and he's batting in the bottom part of the order.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, then you can live with that.
I agree with that.
Because there are no good center fielders. Look around the league.
Dude, if there's a good center fielder, they're not going to let him leave the building.
Yeah, I know.
He's going to get a good contract. He's going to stay. He's going to be a focal point. And think about Stanton. One other elite team, borderline elite team, World Series contender. And again, no disrespect. We all love Big G. We do. We have to say it, but we do. But what other team that's trying to win a championship is rolling out a guy like that who can't run, who can't throw, who can't field? And when he's not hitting home runs, he's useless. I mean, he's in the middle of your order.
And clogs up the spot to maybe use for somebody else, whether it's a better matchup or to get a guy a rest. It's just,
construction. That's the problem, and it's been that way for a minute. All right, guys, let me tell you, Cash App's built for the city. You've got built-in security that's rock solid, Face ID, scam warnings, 24/7 chat support. Basically, it is like having a bodyguard for your money. Let's face it, we work hard for that scratch. Don't let anything slip through the cracks here. Download the Cash App today. Use code WFAN10. Send $5 to a buddy, and within 14 days, Cash App's going to drop $10 right back in your account. Simple as that. Cash App's a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit card issued by Sutton Bank. Member FDIC. Direct deposit, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
Keep listening for your chance to score a pair to see John, and Pete at UBS Arena on October 15th, courtesy of UBS Arena. To purchase tickets, visit ubsarena.com.
My man, Dr. Jay Shah, specializing in minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments for neck, back, and sciatica, migraines, and so much more, offers pain-relieving solutions. There are thousands of five-star reviews who trust Samwell Pain for all their aches and pains. Visit samwellpain.com.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
Hey, it's Tiki. Are you looking to enhance your home experience? Discover the new Sloman's Shield Link, the ultimate all-in-one ecosystem for integrating your smart devices with the Sloman's Shield. Sloman's Shield Link takes everyday routines and actions based on your preferences and connects other devices to react based on your actions. Imagine arriving at home at night and your lights, favorite music, and TV turn on as you enter your home. Whether you want your thermostats to turn down when you turn on your alarm or automatically lock your doors and ensure your security lighting is on. These scenarios are a reality with the Sloman's Shield Link integration platform. The Sloman's Shield Link is compatible with devices you already have in your home. Sloman's includes installation for all devices. Plus, they offer 24/7 support. Whether you need to troubleshoot a problem or want to add programming, you can call at any time. Embrace the future of home living by calling 1-800-ALARM-ME today or visit SlomanShieldLink.com to get the Sloman's Shield Link.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. If you're facing hair loss like I am, I would like to share my journey at Great Many, New York City's cutting-edge hair growth studio. Looking to regrow your hair safely and effectively? Forget those risky pills with scary side effects and costly trips to Turkey. At Great Many, they use PRP, regenerative medicine trusted by pro athletes for recovery. It's a natural, non-surgical solution that really works. Check out my journey and visit greatmany.com/fan to learn more and save $200 today. Don't hesitate. Take action now like I have. Go to greatmany.com/fan to book your treatment or get a free consultation.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot. Mom, can I get a tarantula? No. Coffee? No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation. Can I use the free phone? Yes. See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more? Absolutely. Face tattoo? Absolutely not. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Giants, Eagles, let's go. Call the number 10 at 866-540-WFAN. That is 866-540-9326. That's your chance to score a pair of tickets to see the G-Men take on the Birds at MetLife tonight. Don't forget to come back and check out Evan and Tiki. They're going to be doing the show live for the Dream Bar at American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey before the game. So our hopes are with the Giants and the Jets and, of course, the Knicks and the Little Johnnies, but the Yankees, as we know, are done.
I had a good text from one of my buddies. We'll get back to the calls here in a second. My buddy Wink, who's a big Yankee fan and Jet fan. And Ranger fan. He goes, Yankees can't hit in the playoffs. Rangers can't score in the playoffs. Jets have no idea what the playoffs are.
Ain't wrong.
I threw it. Yeah, the Mets neither. Mets and Jets don't know what the playoffs are.
Yeah.
Yankees fail in the playoffs. Rangers fail in the playoffs. Knicks are our only hope.
Yeah.
I do think the Giants have a chance tonight. We'll get into the Giants tonight a little bit, but we'll get back to the calls here, obviously, on the Yankees. One quick thing, because we talked about it before with the Volpe pinch hitting, and I know it's been a big talking point. Again, friends texting me like, and by the way, my phone was actually relatively quiet last night. A lot of Yankee fans that were hitting me up on the final regular season day, you know, Joe,
with those little pings, those little tormenting pings.
You know, Jamie from Cadillac, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Her father, Joe Fish, a diehard Yankee fan.
He's a big one.
He was the first one to text me, hey,
Good.
Sal, Soto's not going to the postseason.
Joe
My
got
Uncle
you.
John, hey, what happened to the Mets, bro?
Well, that's a given with him.
100%, but it was everybody. Boom, 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 boom. Like, I couldn't move. I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, it's funny. Your partner doesn't send you those texts.
No. And I don't send you those
No,
texts.
you don't. You don't. You're quiet.
To be fair,
we just talked about the game last night.
I didn't even send it. Yeah, we talked about the game.
100%.
And I was rooting for the Yankees last night. Like, obviously, you know I'm not a Yankee fan.
Are you sure? You screamed you wanted them to lose, but you also said you wanted them to win.
Let me explain
Go
why.
ahead.
I bet the Yankees run total over 4.5. Now, I did that because I figured, okay, well, I believe they're going to score a lot of runs.
Yeah.
And I could still maybe have them score 5 or 6 runs and potentially lose. So at least the possibility to lose is there. But I did not go trash talking to my friends or anything like that. They didn't want to do that. I know how painful that is, be above it. But, yeah, a part of me was just relieved that the Yankees are out, especially this year because of the Soto stuff. Anyway, back to the more important point here. When you start talking about, well, pinch hit for Volpe, and I'm saying, well, pinch hit for Grisham, it reminds me of the conversation that we had with the Mets starters. You can't start this guy.
Who's pitching?
Can't start Manaea.
Can't go with Peterson now.
There were no good options. And ultimately with the Yankees, not that there weren't any good options, but when you start talking about pinch hitting for half your lineup, it's a wrap. Like, it's over. There wasn't a good alternative because the starters ultimately had to do their job. And it can't just be, let's go to Caballero and he's going to solve everything off the bench.
And Sal, think about why they're going to pinch hitters. Volpe can take you deep. He did it against the Red Sox.
Right.
He did hit a grand slam
That's
last
why I
year.
would have left him in against the lefty myself.
I would have pulled him, but I got you. Obviously, Grisham could take you deep. He did it almost 35 times this year. You're not pinch hitting for people because they don't have power. You're pinch hitting for them because you don't have a speck of faith that they're going to make contact.
Right. Which is a big difference in the way that it used to be like, hey, I'm going to pull a pinch hitter here because I need an extra base hit or I need a home run, and this guy's not going to be able to do it. No, it's like, hey, this guy doesn't belong in the big leagues. Do you have somebody who does? BT and Sal on the Fan. Dave is calling from Rockville Center. What's up, Dave?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. What's up?
Hey, Dave.
You guys were talking about the future a little bit before. Can we continue to rant about the past?
Okay.
I want to nitpick the lineup for a second. Sal, give me some rope. It's obviously much more than the lineup why the Yankees haven't been successful, but I just don't understand how any baseball person, whether front office, manager, media, or fan, would not advocate for Giancarlo Stanton batting behind Aaron Judge in the playoffs. I mean, they're not going to walk Aaron Judge if Stanton's behind him. And you know what? If they do, God bless you. Good luck with that. It's so stupid to not – this righty-lefty stuff, it's just horse crap. I mean, they go too far with it, and the other thing is, it's not just a lineup construction. It's lineup philosophy. If you put these guys in another organization, okay, with another manager, they're going to tell Jazz Chisholm, you don't need to be a number 5 slugger in our lineup. You know where we need you? We need you in number 2.
Yep.
Did you see how hard Austin Wells swung at that pitch last night?
Yep, first pitch.
Every time he comes to the plate, I have a new hairdo from the TV, from the wind from his bat. Every single, but it's guys, it's every single time. You know what the Yankees don't have? They don't have an organizational philosophy or a manager that would tell him, look, just swing easy. I don't need a home run here. We got guys behind you. Make contact. Get me a single. And you know what? That shouldn't even need
to be said. Dave, how about this? If you are going to be a team that hits home runs and rely on home runs, hit home runs. They didn't do that either. That's the point. So, like, we can agree on the organizational philosophy, the roster construction not being correct, and you'd rather have a team built like the Blue Jays or Brewers with guys who are going to put the bat on the ball and play baseball. We've talked about that for years. The game has gotten away from it. I would go back to that. You're seeing other teams go back to it, and they're having success. However, if your bread and butter is to hit home runs, hit home runs. Jazz could have done that last night with guys on. Austin Wells could have done that last night with guys on. Didn't do it. Those guys hit home runs. They didn't do it.
Oh man, I'm getting more disgusted as the day's going on here. I really am, because listen, you're not wrong. Do it, and now it's harder to do it against better pitching. I obviously get that here, but the overhaul that's got to come from the organization, people need to understand, and it does, and it won't, but it shouldn't. It does. But it doesn't start last night, guys. It doesn't start with empty at-bats and strikeouts and not moving runners over. You know what it starts? It starts the night you get drafted by the Yankees. And it starts when you go to either rookie or high A or whatever, or low A, wherever you start, as you matriculate up the system, double A, triple A. That is the philosophy. We're talking launch. We're trying to get one pitch to elevate and be damned. Hitters count, getting the pitcher to work, taking a strike, making them work. They don't do it, and they don't do it because they don't teach it from day one.
Treat for Yankee fans when we come back. Susan Waldman will join us on the other side. So we'll talk more Yanks, get Susan's perspective on what went wrong.
Looking forward to it. Hey, Sal, 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some driving for the performance, others for the range, and some driving, let's face it, you hop in a Cadillac, as Sal and I do here, to make an entrance. You pull up, whether it's the golf course, a restaurant, they're like, wow, look at that Cadillac. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. So whatever the reason is, never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac.
Yeah, BT, the all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. You got the Escalade IQ, the Vistic, the Optic, and the Lyric. That was the one I drove last year. Looking forward to getting the Optic this year. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. They're great vehicles. Obviously, you know that. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. After trading Joe Flacco, the thought was Browns rookie Shedeur Sanders would now be QB2, but not so fast. Coach Kevin Stefanski isn't ready to decide. Veteran Bailey Zappi still lurking on the practice squad, and Stefanski called the Flacco trade a surprise, which doesn't exactly scream organized. So yeah, the Browns are still sorting out their QB problems. I'm Maggie Gray.
Your favorite neighborhood spots run unsquare. You know the ones. Maybe it's the popular shop that just opened a new location by you, or the big sports bar that's always packed on game day. These places make the neighborhood, and the money spent there stays in your community. Square powers more than 4 million neighborhood businesses worldwide. To learn more, go to square.com, or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply. Hey guys, if you're ready to pop the big question, discover why 5 generations have purchased their diamonds from H.L. Gross Jewelers of Garden City. Since 1910, the Gross family has been the place Long Island gets engaged, and where you'll find all the latest styles and rings and a huge selection of GIA certified diamonds. Save yourself all the hassle and come to H.L. Gross, where you'll get the guaranteed best price, as well as the best education and guidance in picking out the perfect ring. H.L. Gross Jewelers, Long Island's premier bridal ring store at 840 Franklin Avenue in Garden City, or at hlgross.com.
Hey, New York, the hated Eagles are coming to town tonight. This is Chris Hodge from Sports Investors Daily and TakingVegas.com. We have a free pick for you. Just text the word WIN to the number 545454. That's text the word WIN to the number 545454. Hey, let's keep it real. If you're a fan of the Jets, if you're a fan of the Giants, you're having a garbage season. It's pretty much already over. But for all the New York fans, you know you want to beat Philadelphia. So this is a tough game tonight. Text the word WIN to the number 545454. Giants getting about a touchdown. Tough game to call with Philly coming off a bad loss last week to Denver. And obviously, the Giants doing what they do, losing to New Orleans. So we'll figure this one out for you tonight. It's free on the text line. Just text the word WIN to the number 545454. Free pick winner Thursday night to start the NFL Week 6. Text the word WIN to the number 545454.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals at a fishing pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah, and they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay. In St. Pete, Clearwater, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Your Florida escape begins at visitspc.com.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine, its impressive fuel economy, still going, its I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. For well-qualified buyers, example 0 down payment. 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 11/3/25.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
High temperature around 70, clearing late, low 55.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Real sports talk for real fans with real opinions. The Fan, 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Yeah.
BT, it's out back on the Fan. Obviously talking Yankees post-mortem here as their season ended far too soon last night. A loss at home in Game 4 to the better team in the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm surprised that was the case. I was proven incorrect. And to help us break it down even further, we welcome in the legendary voice of the New York Yankees, one of my favorite people ever, Susan Waldman. Susan, how are you after last night's tough defeat?
I'm fine. And you know what's really interesting about this? And I'm listening to people talk about the surprise. If you're surprised that the Toronto Blue Jays took it to the New York Yankees, you haven't been paying attention. Because just think back to July when this team did exactly the same thing at the Rogers Center. They are totally balanced. They found a way to get through their pitching. Their pitching has been their Achilles heel. They found a way to fix that, at least for this series. And, you know, a lot of the things that came down to what we talked about through the year. I mean, mistakes. Jazz Chisholm, I know he feels terrible, but there it was. You make a mistake in this kind of game, and you will probably lose.
The one thing, Susan, that I am personally surprised at, forget about even Fried and Rodon, that could happen to the best of them, although I was a little surprised. But you just mentioned it. I thought the Yankees would hit. I knew the Blue Jays had a better lineup than Boston. I am shocked that the Yankees didn't hit enough, especially in a bullpen game.
Well, here's something that when I was listening to John Schneider and a lot of the guys, I've spent a lot of time, around there to find out what they were doing. Now, what they did was set up their pitching to match up with the lineup. This was all planned. This guy's coming in, Eric Lauer, you're getting up. And they had it all, and he sent a text to Pete Walker, the pitching coach, and the assistant guys, and said, get ready, we're going to have some fun tonight. And they had it planned. They didn't just say, oh, Judge is getting up, let's do this. It was planned.
Yeah.
And so but of course, you all also have to execute. I actually thought, a bullpen game. And then I found out what they were actually doing. I said, whoa, this isn't going to be as easy and they didn't even have to use Yasavage, who was out there, Yasavage, who was sitting there the whole time. And that would have been interesting too. But you talk about Fried and Rodon. If they do not lose 3 games to the Miami Marlins and don't blow a couple of games that they have that we were all saying, oh, well. Well, it wasn't oh, well, because it cost them the division, which meant that Luis Heel had to go and pitch game 1 and not Max Fried.
Well, Susan, so very smart take on what Schneider did, how it was planned out. That can't get overlooked. He hit the right buttons at his team. His team rewarded him. Was there more Boone could have done last night?
With the way they play and the way they've played all year, I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, you've got some holes in this lineup. You had terrible holes in this lineup, and that comes from, Grisham had a great year with the home runs and all that. There was really never a leadoff hitter in this. Now, look what Toronto did, and I don't want to say they're not the best team of all time. This was the team that I was worried about. I thought if they played anybody else, they'd get through it and get to the World Series. I was worried about them, and it turned out to be true just because of the way they play. Look at their no names and I'm saying they're not no names now because the name of Ernie Clement, we'll all remember all the time now. But those guys contributed every single time. John Schneider, the way he ran this team, and don't forget, this was a few years ago when that team was like this team, home run or nothing. And they've turned that around. Mattingly had a hand in that. All kinds of people had a hand in that. But everyone in this lineup on Toronto had at least something to do with one win over this series. Every single one of them. And the person that you feared the most was the one who didn't get anything done, and that was George Springer. But everybody else did.
Yeah, and Bichette didn't even play. I mean, they're set up well here. Listen, it's been like this for years. People call, and I don't think it's right, but people do it. Fire Boone, fire Cat. Okay. You've heard it a million times. But there's got to be a point, Susan, where there's an internal checkpoint for the Yankees as to how they build out rosters, what they teach philosophically. Will this facilitate some sort of real change?
They didn't last year when they did 2 years ago when they did the supposed audit, when they called in another analytics department to see if they were doing things right, and they decided they were doing things great. They believe in the way they're playing, and that sounds like it's not an excuse. It's just the reality. And all these people that are saying Aaron Boone is not the problem here. He really is not. And if they fired him this minute, they would bring in somebody just like him.
Yep.
Because they believe that the manager is the conduit between the front office and the players. And most organizations work like that. But if you're going to do that, you have to have better roster construction, and you have to, we're talking about this. But look at the beginning. When was the first time I was on to say, why are there 3 left-handed catchers on this team?
Right.
Why is there no third baseman on this team? There was literally not a third baseman on the team when the team started. Yes, Oswaldo Cabrera, yes.
Right.
But that was, he's a utility guy.
How many DHs, all of that stuff. We heard A-Rod referencing that last night as well on his pregame show or postgame show with Fox. So with that being said, Susan, it sounds like you don't expect significant changes in the front office. Okay. What about significant changes to the look of the actual roster?
I would say, well, they're going to have a change. I mean, you look at what is there. They're going to have to decide, is Ben Rice a first baseman? Are you going to go forward with, I know he's going to hit. Mm-hmm. Are you going to go forward with Ben Rice as your first baseman?
I think he's terrible.
Yeah, you'd be my DH myself.
Yep.
But.
Well, you have a DH.
Yep.
You have a. That's what Alex was talking about yesterday. You look at it. Can you get a right-handed catcher? Maybe. Can we get somebody that is Austin Wells your catcher? If he is, can you get maybe a right-handed backup so there's a little balance here?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do about left field? Is Jason Dominguez going to play, or is he not going to play? How many years is this going to go on?
All right, and then Spencer Jones going to be next.
The conundrum is, what?
Spencer Jones next, all the young guys, like that's going to be. Volpe has failed, and I think in part because of the organization. Dominguez, you mentioned him. Spencer Jones next. Like it's been the same thing, Susan, year after year.
Well, but here's what you just said. Volpe has failed. Do you think that they think he's failed?
It doesn't sound like it.
No, but that's a problem.
Yeah.
Is it, or is he having a bad year? I mean, they're going to have to decide this. I really think this. Now, do you sign Clay Bellinger, or now I'm hearing Kyle Tucker? The Yankees, by the way, about signing, I don't ever think I remember a time when the New York Yankees did not get a player they wanted, except maybe the Japanese guys who didn't want to come to the East Coast. Mm-hmm. Has there ever been a time that Yankees have been outbid by somebody that they wanted?
Soto.
And they really didn't get. Well, but that was another thing. Once we got to the mother and the clothes option, I mean, sometimes you go a little too far. But that was not having Soto was not the problem.
I agree.
Correct.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's funny.
He has nothing to do with this.
I'm with you on that. I think a lot of people jump into it, but the reality is you're right. All right, now, quickly for Soto, we use his name. When the Yankees made the last down the World Series, it was pretty clear he had no emotional connection to the Yankees, and we didn't know what was going to happen, and then we found out. I feel like Bellinger could be a little different. His dad played here. He seemed to kind of tap into the emotion of being a Yankee. I think he loves it here, and I think he's a perfect fit. They've got to feel the same way. They have to, right?
I don't know. He's going to be 34 years old. I don't know. Is the analytics department going to say in the month of May in 2006 he's not going to be the same? I don't know what they're going to do. Does he want to be here? You bet he does. He loves it here. He loves everything. The connection between his dad was so real. It was palpable. Opening day, he kept saying, just one more day, and it all comes around. He loves it here. And by the way, he's one of these players. He is a manager's dream. Anything you want. I mean, he would have caught if they asked him to. Aaron Boone would say, can you play next Tuesday? Can you play first base? Sure, whatever you want. There's high maintenance and low maintenance. He's no maintenance at all. And he really was terrific. And I think this heel was bothering him more than he let on. Because he did not look the same after he hurt his heel.
We saw A-Rod again say it last night. There were reports from Andy Martino of SNY last week saying that Boone is making the in-game decisions. A-Rod says otherwise. This is more front office. Jeter said it last night on the postgame too. He doesn't think that Boone's making these decisions. I'll ask you, Susan, who's in touch with it more than anybody else. You've been around it forever and you're there every day. Who is making those decisions in-game?
Okay, you're not going to like this because but people think that Aaron Boone is doing what they tell him to do. He is in lockstep with him. I don't understand why nobody understands this. He believes everything they believe. They go over a plan that they think this will happen, and this will happen. If it doesn't happen, Boone makes the decision of who can come out. But don't think that he disagrees with them. I mean, I don't think anybody gets that concept. Mm-hmm. When he had his interview here, one of the things that they did was make out lineups and the analytics did it, and he did it, and he did it for a long time. He matched them all the time. He thinks just like this. And what do they think they do? That somebody calls down from Cashman Suite and there's a phone in the dugout that says, bring in this guy?
No.
These decisions, in game, they're his. But the plan is that whole group. It's a group. Mm-hmm. It's not somebody sitting upstairs and coming down. It's together. And anybody thinks that Aaron Boone doesn't agree with them, that's why he got this job.
Right.
Yep.
You know, he believes in all this stuff. If you think back to when he was on ESPN, he was always bringing up this weird analytic stuff. Back then, it was weird analytic stuff.
He was.
Just think back. He was.
Yep.
He was really out there. And sometimes you'd watch him and you think, and we didn't know what that was back then. That's a long time ago.
It was. Oh, man.
You say, what is he talking about?
Okay.
And so
Okay. So the three of us are on the same page. I think it is just abjectly disrespectful the way people belittle or position Boone. I think it's inaccurate, and I think it's just
I agree
wrong.
with you.
Okay, so we all believe that. But I want to go back to something you said about him being in complete agreement with the front office or the analytics. I'm of the mindset, Susan, that disagreement sometimes is healthy. That disagreement can spur debate or a new philosophy or a new thought. I don't want 10 people saying, yep, and I'm not saying it goes like this, but yep, I agree. No, I want somebody to stand up and say, hey, we've been doing this for a couple of years. This isn't working. I wouldn't mind that.
Well, I think a lot of people wouldn't mind that. And I'm not in on those meetings, but obviously not a lot has changed. But it was. If you look at what Brian Cashman and who Brian Cashman brought in here and the way and what he did at the deadline. You need a third baseman, he went and got a third baseman. You need to overhaul the bullpen, he went and overhauled the bullpen. It should have worked, it did not. There are reasons, I think, for that, because you do have to understand people, and I'm not quite sure that that's part of the equation anymore. But that's neither here nor there. But he did everything. I think Brian Cashman did everything he could to fix this roster. The roster at the beginning was the problem, and if you spend all year trying to fix it, then it leads to these kinds of things. It's not. I think if they had lost to the Red Sox, which was clearly an inferior team, this would have been devastating. The Blue Jays are good. I mean, they are really good. And what they have done with their lineup and how they mix and match, their problem is their bullpen. But that, pitching is a whole other thing. You can't always develop pitching. And most of those kids that we saw, Little and Fisher and Fluharty, they're all 5 years old. So they will get better as it goes on, but they know what they're doing there. It's the way they use their roster that I think is different from here. Ahmed Rosario was brought in to hit left-handers, which he does. So he only played when there's a left-hander? He's a good player. Mm-hmm. Every time he played, he did something. The roster itself did not lead to the kind of games that the Toronto Blue Jays had.
So it's been 16 years, Susan, since the Yankees have won a World Series. Wow. It is the longest drought between championships in their history. How would you fix their issues?
Well, I am not. I am a different kind of person. I know information is great. I don't make decisions on the past does not equal the future to me. Information is absolutely great, but there has to be some kind of more inclusive kind of way to do this. Is it the player's fault? Is it their fault? You got to look at who's here. Jazz Chisholm, he's exciting. He loves it here. He tries to play. Is that the kind of person that you want there? You have to decide about Volpe. What is he? Is this a bad year? Are we going to go through this every year with somebody having a competition with Anthony Volpe until George Lombard gets here? And then what do you do? Mm-hmm. They've got some decisions. Are they going to go with Spencer Jones next year? Give him a shot?
Why would that be different from the shot they really didn't give Jason Dominguez? Why would they treat him differently? They don't really give Dominguez any runway?
Well, because he couldn't play left field. You do have to be able to do it. I don't know if he can hit. He can't hit right-handed yet. Yep. He was supposed to be a switch hitting. He's still 23. I don't know what you do.
And Susan, could you help me out with my partner here? Because he keeps saying he wants Dominguez in center field. Can you tell him Dominguez can't play center field, or they don't want him in center field?
He's not Joe DiMaggio out there. I know they keep saying that he was a center fielder. No, he's not. No, you don't want to see that.
He's not a left fielder, so I just get rid of him at this point.
I understand that. So now that's why that's one. I think that's one of the people that Alex was saying is another DH. That's why he said there were five of them.
Yeah.
But he was supposed to be a switch hitting DH or left fielder, and he never hit right-handed because they did not give him a runway. They tried.
Yeah.
They really did. I think they've worked with him. I think what you have to do if you were going to make Dominguez a left fielder, when he came up last year, you put him in left field and you leave him there. You leave him there for 5 months and see if he can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't, because this is not, this is not the Kansas City Royals.
You're right.
You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of balls go through. There were a lot. Aaron Boone said this was the most talented team that he has had and the most complete team. On paper, he is absolutely right.
Yep.
On paper.
I agree.
Put down those names and who they are, and you look at this roster and you go, wow. And for whatever reason, it doesn't play. That's why, you don't play games on paper.
Yeah, that's why there's a heartbeat. Last thing for me, Susan. I think our audience would like to hear this. And I don't know how wrapped up or how much you care about this, but you certainly know the history as well as anybody that we can possibly call up, which is why we called you. When you don't win a championship for the Yankees, there's a different level of scrutiny. Donnie doesn't have one, but Donnie had no pitching and a bad back. And it's a different relationship, I think, a little bit with Donnie, with Judge. If he never wins one, I know I'm pushing this forward a little bit here, but if he never wins one, do you believe he can be viewed as an all-time Ruth, DiMaggio, Mantle, Berra, Yankee, Titan, Jeter?
They all had one thing in common, didn't they? They all won. I think he will be the next to me. I think Aaron Judge is probably, to watch him for the last 8 years, and he's unbelievable. He's as good a player as I've ever seen in every single way, a better person, and he will be like Mattingly here. I mean, it was like nobody was more beloved in Mattingly. And by the way, when I went to say goodbye to some of the Blue Jays, one of the things I said, all right, congratulations, it's very nice. You better get Don Mattingly his ring now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, too. I hate Toronto, but win it for Donnie. I'm with you. Yep. I do feel, Aaron Judge is going to be, 34 in April or 35, whenever his birthday is. 34.
Is he going to be this person? We are watching something really special, really. And sometimes you're in the middle of it. Like, when you saw Mariano, you knew that you take everything in. This is never coming back again. And, players are different. Every there'll be another one in generation. This is as good a player as I've ever seen. And what he doesn't have that the other have is rings.
Where would you rank that moment, the home run off the foul pole?
Because of where it was, it was a division series. It was really wonderful. I was glad for him because now this will stop. But they didn't win. So is that going to be... See, that's part of it. It was a wonderful moment. Did they win? No, they did not.
Well, Susan, you are the best. Love listening to you.
By the way, Don Mattingly, I still remember hitting 417 in the wild card.
Hey, let's Susan. So hold on to you. Home run to right center. I was at every one of those games. He hit the ground rule double in Seattle. Oh my, that was amazing.
Hey, Yankee fans wanted him to be the manager, Susan.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted him to be the manager. Whatever.
I don't think Sal meant past tense.
It's a really long time ago. It's 20 years ago. Almost 20 years ago.
Oh, God.
What happened there?
We'll discuss it over lunch one day.
Interesting.
Susan, you are the...
We'll pick up the bill to hear this story.
Susan, you are the best. We love you. Great job on the call.
All right, thanks for having me on.
Yep, sorry it
All
didn't
right,
work
March
out.
25th. March 25th, opening night in San Francisco. Nothing says opening day like a night game in San Francisco.
The chase for 28.
She's already fired up about that. We love you, Susan.
About Netflix. Yes, can you imagine Netflix opening night? New York Yankees is on friggin' Netflix.
That's a joke. She's right.
Maybe more people will be listening to you on the fan.
Good point.
Thank you, Susan.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
She is the best. I love
her.
Susan
Love
so
having
much.
her on. She's awesome.
Oh, man. Makes me smile. Yeah, and look, there's a lot there. Whether it's the Mattingly
we got to get that Donnie story.
Yeah.
We have to get that Donnie story.
Into a little bit of it.
Tell me off the air. Tell me something.
All right, BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. We'll talk more Yankees with you guys when we come back. We'll get into the Giants later on. They play Thursday Night Football. We're looking to get back in the win column against the Eagles, who have seemed to own them, so we'll do that later on as well. Right now, let's get you updated. Here's Gordon Damer.
Wake up with Boomer and Geo. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Stations.
WFAN Sports Flash. At 12:03, I'm Gordon Damer. This report brought to you by the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack. Get all your parlays, money line, and prop wagers made on all the sports action at the Meadowlands Racetrack. FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager and present in New Jersey. Gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER. 3 of the 4 division series still very much up in the air. The only team eliminated in the round, that, of course, would be the Yankees. Another season down the drain after their 5-2 loss to the Blue Jays last night in the Bronx. Toronto off to the ALCS, first time since 2016. While Aaron Boone off to look for some answers on how to end the Yankees World Series drought.
Oh, no, I'm confident we'll break through. I have been every year. And I believe in so many of the people in that room. So that hasn't changed. The fire hasn't changed. It's hard to win the World Series.
2 NL Division Series with Game 4s today. The Cubs and Brewers, Phillies and Dodgers, LA and Milwaukee can wrap things up with a win. NFL Giants kick off Week 6, host the Eagles tonight. Giants have lost 8 straight division games. We'll have all the coverage here on the Fan at 6:30 with kickoff at 8:15. Also, busy night locally in the NHL. Rangers in Buffalo to skate against the Sabres. Islanders face off against the Penguins. The Devils are in Carolina. Fan weather sponsored by Total Orthopedics. The experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. It's 56 and mostly sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Gordon Damer.
Looking for the perfect place to catch the game on Long Island? Check out Tap Room, now with 9 locations, including their newest at Station Yards in Ronkonkoma. Great food, rotating craft beer, and TVs everywhere. Plus Sunday game day drink specials, wing night Thursdays, and kids eat free Tuesdays. It's the best place for sports, food, and friends. Visit taproomofny.com to find your spot.
Long Island is brewing some spooky fun at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. We're celebrating this October for our $50,000 Witchy Wednesdays drawing. Be here on Wednesday, October 1st, 15th, and 29th from 3 to 7 p.m. when 2 winners will be drawn every hour to pick a witch's hat and win up to $5,000 cash. Club members can conjure up to 5 times entry multipliers. Fly over to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Still spending on search ads, hoping to capture new customers? The truth is, search reaches people who already know your brand and is rapidly being replaced by AI. If you want real growth, you need to get in front of new customers on streaming TV, where attention is high on their favorite programming. Viant has proven technology to reach the right customers on the best programming, delivering real outcomes. Want better results? Visit ViantCTV.com today. Hey, New Yorkers, fast, reliable internet can be yours when you switch to Fios. For a limited time, combine Fios home internet and 1 line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 a month with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios 300 megabytes per second for $19.99 a month with autopay, mobile plus discount, and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic 5G network. Fios, for eligible new Fios internet and mobile customers. Both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and Bring Your Phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Now when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide. Is both. Nationwide. Is both. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Mega Millions is up to a mind-blowing $575 million. With that many millions, you could buy the house of your dreams in every state. Play today at any New Jersey lottery retailer.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's out back on the Fan. We are down with the crown topic of the day, or the king topic of the day here, 888-808-1019, as we are at 12 o'clock every day. And, you know, it is the New York Yankees, BT, getting eliminated last night. I'm shocked that it happened in the way that it did. I mean, look, it's baseball. Anything could happen. You just heard from Susan Waldman. In case you missed it, check it out on the free Odyssey app. She is fantastic. You know, we have a bunch of spots on throughout the course of whatever, since we've been doing the show together. Yeah. Nobody texts me more. I get a much bigger response to Susan than anybody else, even with A-Rod.
Yeah.
People just light my phone up. Susan was great. We love her with you guys.
Yeah, I get a lot of that, too. It's funny you say that.
I got to go to lunch with you guys.
Yeah. I just got a few texts, a few tweets. I hate the Yankees, but I love Susan. I got a few of those, too.
She is the freaking best, so we love her. Anyway, in case you missed it, she was great, giving some great insight on the Yankees. After they fall to the Blue Jays, they go home yet another year. Way too early. Haven't won a World Series since 2009. 16 years, longest drought in their franchise history between titles, BT. And it's the same old stuff as far as the Yankees. To me, the roster construction being built the incorrect way, and you saw that flat out where the Blue Jays are built totally differently. They hit the ball all over the place. The Yankees rely on the home run, the power, and that was nowhere to be found in this series.
Rinse and repeat, Sal. We could literally flash back to the last, more than half a decade, even beyond that for sure, when the Yankees get bounced, and, even before you and I started working, and even when I was doing the National down the hall and I wasn't here, whomever was in this studio and the rest of the FAN studios, I promise you the conversation was the same. They're not built the right way. Cashman's got to go. I don't know if I believe in Boone. Do they have enough? Not enough lefty hitters. Don't catch the baseball. Now they have too many lefty hitters. Strike out too much.
Yeah, right now it's too many lefties.
It's ridiculous. And the funny thing is, when Susan said, maybe Bellinger could catch you, that would be a fourth lefty.
Yeah, right.
Another lefty catcher. Obviously being facetious, but the biggest takeaway for me is, and I did all the ranting and the raving and the yelling. I got that out in the first part of the show here. Free Odyssey app if you guys want to check that out. A pissed off Yankee fan. It's one thing to lose. It's another thing to lose the same way over and over. And that just tells me again that there will be no awakening or no recalibrations where it matters from hell on down. Expect the same stuff.
The thing that Yankee fans have wanted the most in recent years that was on full display with the Blue Jays. A team that can put the bat on the ball. Again, I didn't think Toronto had enough pitching, so I was wrong there. And I did think the Yankees would. The Blue Jays were the last place team in the division a year ago. the Blue Jays almost got caught by the Yankees, even though the Yankees didn't have a great regular season. So there was reason to believe, from my perspective, why I thought the Yankees could get by Toronto or would get by Toronto in this series. The Blue Jays showed me something. They showed some toughness. Even after coughing up that game in Game 3, they responded. But that's a team that Yankee fans would like to see. A guy like Clement, Susan mentioned Clement. We mentioned him earlier, right? You look at Ernie Clement. Look at his numbers this year, BT. Ernie Clement's numbers. He hit 277.
Mm-hmm.
He had 6 stolen bases, 9 home runs, and 50 RBI.
How many at-bats?
35 doubles. He had 588 plate appearances, 545 at-bats. You look at that.
It's a lot of doubles.
You look at that. Yankee fans will look at them and be like, what?
Yeah, I know.
And then look at Jazz's numbers, where Jazz 30 homers and 30 steals, and that flips galore.
They had 230.
Which player would you rather have on your team?
It's funny. For 1 through 162, I'd probably want to have Jazz. And when it really matters, and the pitching's better and the defense tightens up and the managers are better, you want a kid like they have.
The Blue Jays are built the right way. The Yankees are not. The roster construction's an issue. Obviously, they didn't get good performance from their high-priced pitchers, whether it be Fried or Rodon. So a lot of issues to go around. But unfortunately, it's the same old story. And like when people say, well, they need change Cashman or Boone, dating back to years. I remember, like I said, for me, it was 2021. You could say whatever year it was. It was not that I don't think Cashman's smart or not a good baseball guy or he doesn't know what he's doing. It's that sometimes you just need to change. The same way Brian Cashman told us that they just needed to change from Joe Girardi to Aaron Boone is the same way that I was saying for years they just needed to change and have a different philosophy. They haven't. They're not going to. And they don't believe that anything's wrong. And they'll say 94 wins. We almost won the division anyway. Maybe that could have changed everything. Maybe a ball bounces one way or another. Who knows? But nothing is going to change until the organizational philosophy changes.
We all know this, and that's why it's really just beating the drum. It's never the same. It's just never a different song. I'm really frustrated. But back to Toronto for 1 sec. Like, think about, not that we thought Scherzer would have a big year or Bassett would be better, but not amazing. They didn't even make the roster for the divisional series here. 2 arms Toronto counted on. Santander, who's a switch hitter with power, and he usually bangs a bunch of home runs against the Yankees. He missed the majority of the season. That was their big off-season ticket. When after they resigned Vladdy and a brief flirtation with Pete Alonso. So think about the things that they did, or how, from Toronto's perspective, what they envisioned they would be coming into the year. Santander, 35 home runs, barely played. Bassett, sure, I know, but Scherzer in the rotation, didn't even make the roster. But yet they had the inner workings that enough ball players, guys who could catch it, run, bat-to-ball skill, and they beat the Yankees.
You know what I'm fascinated to see? How Savage does in the next round. Whether it's against the Mariners or Tigers, let's see if he mows down those teams the way that he did the Yankees.
He'll mow down the Tigers. I don't know if he'll mow down Seattle. I don't like the Tigers lineup too much.
And I'm not even sure who's now. They got to go to Seattle, but Skubal's pitching.
I know.
That's an interesting Game 5 right there with those 2 teams. Not that we care anymore because the New York teams are obviously out of it, but just showing you that, is it Savage? Is it the Toronto pitching? Or is it the Yankees offense that was the disappointment yet again? BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Shane is in Miami, Florida. What's up, Shane?
Sal, BT, what's up, fellas? First time calling in, man. I'll watch you guys on YouTube. You guys are great.
Nice.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Energy.
Love it.
BT, how depressing is it to be a Yankees fan, bro?
I never thought we'd say that.
Try being a Met fan. It's worse.
It's really miserable because you're no longer stunned. I am surprised they didn't hit. But, Shane, you almost become numb to this stuff. The early exits, I know last year they got to the World Series, but falling short, complaining, nothing changing. It's the same song and dance.
Yeah, man. I just want to touch base. Hour wait on this call, by the way. So I want to touch base on a couple of things before you let me go.
Go ahead.
So at the end of the season, I mean, I think the Yankees were doomed by not winning the division. I really think they just exhausted themselves, literally trying to win a division. I mean, they won almost every game down the stretch, and ended up tying with the Jays, and then they exhausted themselves just to get past the Red Sox. I just think it could have been a different series had they won. I think that the Yankees could have. I think they had a better team. I think they would have beat Toronto had they won the division and wouldn't have exhausted themselves.
We'll never know.
Stretch, but,
well, maybe. But I also think that there's something to be said, Shane. I remember saying this to Sal, where, when you are playing for 2 months and you have to be so locked in because of a hole that you put yourself in, you're more playoff ready in the eyes of some. Now, maybe you're a little more tired. You exert more energy during those 60 games trying to make up ground and catch a divisional leader like they were trying to catch Toronto. But I actually thought that the Yankees were in a good mental and physical spot coming into the playoffs, and here we are. It's over.
Sadly, Shane, and we'll let you continue here. I think if they played this series 10 times, Yankees win 1. Like, I just think the Blue Jays, unfortunately, the Blue Jays are just better.
Yeah, I hear you. A little bit about the game last night. I would have loved to see. I'm not going to I've been a Boone basher, but the players lost that series, not Boone. But I would have liked to have seen them walk Vlad in the first. Maybe could have saved a run. I would have liked to see Schlitt field that ball in the 5th or 6th.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen someone let a ball go thinking it's going to be. I'd rather go for the double play. That game could have been 1-0 Yankees in the 7th inning.
He was thinking too much on that play, though. I know what he was thinking. You shouldn't be thinking. The ball was right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you weren't going to deflect it. You were going to grab it. Yeah.
And then moving forward, man, one more point about moving forward, and then a little bit of blame game, and I'm done. But moving forward, I would love to see them sign Bichette. I think he would be a great shortstop for the Yankees, and I would love to see them sign Bellinger. They obviously have the top 4, arguably the best top 4 rotation they've had since the early 2000s with Cole coming back.
Yep.
So work on the bullpen. Would love to see them sign Bichette. You got Cabby signed to 2029. He's an awesome Swift knife guy. And then one thing about the Yankees organization, you want to put a little blame game on. Kerry Miller, Bleacher Report, had a really nice article yesterday talking about how the Yankees are just completely wasting Judge's career. He's arguably the best right-handed hitter of our lifetime, WRC plus through the age of 33. Babe, Ted, and Judge. And 1999 through 2013, the Yankees had the number 1 payroll every year. Since 2013, they've had the number 1 payroll once, and the value of the Yankees has doubled from $3.5 billion to $7 billion.
Here's the one thing, and thank you for the call. Good stuff. We appreciate you being a loyal listener and viewer on YouTube and holding on. The spending does not mean you're going to win the most. The Blue Jays didn't have to have the highest payroll. They just built a better team. So I wouldn't look at the Yankees and say, well, Hal's not doing enough. They're not spending it enough. And I wouldn't even say that they're not spending it wisely necessarily. They're not constructed the right way. And that is by design. They built this team. They want guys that are going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's how they built it. And to me, that's a flawed philosophy, not to mention the way that they're not developing the younger players. That is broken. However, whatever's going on there, it's not working. It's been proved.
Listen, if you want to yell at Hal for not spending money, I think you're missing the mark. I don't think that's fair. It's provable. It's just not accurate. If you want to get on Hal for what seems to be an unending threshold of tolerance for losing the same way, that's what you should focus on.
Yeah, 100%. Frank is calling from Cedar Grove. What's up, Frank?
Frankie.
Hey, fellas. How you guys doing?
What's up?
My original call is like where I feel as fans, our disappointment lies. But a quick point on roster construction. I think Jazz got to go. He's a loser. We can't win with him. If you want to move Volpe again, that's fine. We desperately need a competent right-handed bat. I think that's Bregman. You can put him at short until Lombard comes up, push him over back to third. He does it in the playoffs. He does it. He's done it to us plenty of times. I think you need that with Judge. But ultimately, my call comes back to why are we so disappointed? And I think it comes back to 2017. We were on the doorstep. And in Cashman's words, we were ahead of schedule. And since then, we've been stagnant. You know, if you gave him truth serum, I think he would admit we are on the verge of winning one, if not multiple championships. The fans felt it. I think we all thought that was going to happen. And in 8 years, we have the only thing that has progressed is Judge. As a team, besides last year, we have gone backwards. And I think that ultimately is why it's so disappointing today that we're still not ahead of 2017.
Frank,
you talked about we need a change. You know, Girardi left. I think it's just time for a change for sake of change.
Correct. Frank, I think you just made an excellent point because I felt that. Every year, I've told you this, every year since 2017, I'm like, they're going to win the World Series. They're going to win the World Series. The one thing I didn't like, and you can date the poor roster construction back to this, was when they traded for Giancarlo Stanton. And don't come at me, people, well, look at the numbers. Look at playoff G. Look at what he's done. They didn't need him. It was a mistake at the time. They had their superstar power right-handed masher in Aaron Judge. You didn't need to get a redundant player. And that was when Stanton could play the field. Yeah. It's obviously only gotten worse since then. That move was the wrong move for the roster construction of this team. It has been a roadblock for years since then. Not to mention that Stanton himself is never healthy and can't run the bases and can't play the field. So the financial roadblock and then the roster position roadblock, think of the other players you could have had in lieu of Stanton over the years. That, to me, was the shift in where it was in 2017 when they decided to go get Giancarlo Stanton.
I got to take the L, and I have. I've said that for years now. I was very I'm like, oh, my God, look at these two superheroes. I was very intrigued by the combination of Stanton and Judge going bonkers. But I was also motivated by the belief that, well, if Stanton doesn't age well and, he's done a little bit before we thought, Yanks will eat some money. Yanks will keep spending. They do spend, but they've curtailed it a little bit. So they haven't been able to circumvent the erosion of his physical play, number one. And the last caller made a lot of great points. The only thing that I would push back very aggressively on, last thing he said, I think it's time change for change's sake. I think that's, and I don't mean this at him, I just think that's an idiotic philosophy because it's missing the mark. Like, just to change without dealing in possible repercussions. Listen, Boone's not Miller Huggins, I've said that, but he's good. And you could get the wrong guy in here who can't handle the media, can't keep a locker room together. To change just to change, I'm not doing that.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Warrior calls when we come back. Hey, it's football season. Obviously, the Giants' big game tonight, taking on the Eagles. Football season, you got to make Surfside your tailgate must-have. Real vodka, real brewed tea, just 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. Easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's a Surfside. Ask for it wherever you tailgate. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
The Big Easy was anything but for Big Blue.
Hard to win when you turn the ball over 5 times and it was 5 consecutive drives.
But no time to dwell, as a short turnaround has the defending Super Bowl champs in town for a prime-time Thursday night showdown. Will the G-Men get back on track and spoil Philly's trip up the turnpike?
Fires it into the end zone, and the pass is caught for the touchdown.
Catch all the action tonight on your home for New York Giants football. 101.9 FM WFAN, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please pay responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. If you're facing hair loss like I am, I would like to share my journey at Great Many, New York City's cutting-edge hair growth studio. Looking to regrow your hair safely and effectively? Forget those risky pills with scary side effects and costly trips to Turkey. At Great Many, they use PRP, regenerative medicine trusted by pro athletes for recovery. It's a natural, non-surgical solution that really works. Check out my journey and visit greatmany.com/fan to learn more and save $200 today. Don't hesitate. Take action now like I have. Go to greatmany.com/fan to book your treatment or get a free consultation.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000. Award in Mississippi.
At Skechers, comfort is a technology. That's right. You don't just make a shoe and hope it comes out comfortable. It takes research, innovations, compounds, engineering, and so much more to feel so comfortable you'd swear you're wearing pillows on your feet. We have features like Skechers Air-Cooled Memory Foam and fits like Relax Fit, Stretch Fit, Wide Fit, Arch Fit, and so many more to make the shoe feel like it was custom-made just for your foot. Plus, we have hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology. Just step it and go. Find yours at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action to get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Talk New York sports on WFAN. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Sal back on the Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Getting into the Yankees. We'll do a little Giants coming up in a little bit. We've got the Power Up, which we do every Thursday at 12:40. So we'll have our power rankings as we go around the NFL. Do that in a little while. I do think the biggest, I mean, look, we go around the Yankees, around the diamond, what they would do. I do think the biggest question mark is going to be what they do with Volpe. Like, there are other issues, and you can say, all right, they're going to bring Bellinger back, sure, whatever. How are you going to configure the outfield? Shortstop is such a huge thing. Volpe's such a young kid and under contract. Like, that's a major decision for Cashman to be doubling and tripling down on Volpe to where we're at now with Anthony Volpe.
Yep.
Like, what do you do with him? There's probably zero trade value, right?
Yeah, he's at his lowest trade.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure somebody would take him, but you're not getting anything of value back.
No, which is why you wouldn't trade him.
Right, because you're giving up a player with potential and under control.
Yeah.
Can you justify running him back out there again to start the year next year?
If he earns it. What I don't think you can justify anymore is having Anthony Volpe show up in Tampa in February as the unquestioned starting shortstop.
Right.
We're past that. Like, there's got to be at least some movement in a direction where, I mean, listen, maybe it's Caballero, who's obviously under control and under, no, I'm saying at least he's on the roster. Yeah. I mean, before
I love him coming off the bench. I think that makes you, he's an elite bench player. His speed, his versatility.
I'm not saying it's the answer. I'm not saying Caballero's a starting shortstop on a World Series team. I'm not saying that at all. But, like, even before Caballero got here, there was nothing even remotely viable enough to push Volpe like Caballero theoretically could. So you create a competition. You go old school, and you got to earn it. This is still okay in sports, It's still okay to show up and outperform the other guy. And if you do, then you get to play. And if you don't, then you get to sit. So I really think that at this point, Sal, everything's going to be on the table. And I think, at least with this, the Yankees will be smart enough to know that. Now, they might say we believe in them, and on some levels they probably still do. I do not think under any circumstance that we are sitting here in February and it's Volpe. There's no doubt, nobody else. That's number one. And I also think that if he looks that way next year, he's in the minors. I think that they would finally do that.
Yeah, I mean, it might be too little too late.
It could be.
At this point. But if your plan is then, all right, we'll still give Volpe a shot, then that means you're not going out and getting a big shortstop.
Unless you want to trade Jazz and punt Volpe over to second, and then get Bichette.
Well, now we're talking. Now we're getting to a different realm. Just hit me, by the way.
Yes.
Who's to say the Yankees maybe couldn't trade for Francisco Lindor? I mean, that's a major, obviously.
I mean, who would you even want? I mean, forget about the money. Suspend the reality, like the roadblocks of money. Who would you even want?
Ben Rice? I mean, that's a quick answer.
That's a starting point. Obviously, you're going to have to get more than Ben Rice.
You're taking off the money.
Yeah.
I mean, Lindor for the Yankees trying to win now with Aaron Judge. Now, again, this is just a total hypothetical.
Imagine if he's my shortstop after all that stuff. Hey, what a lefty hitter, man. Let's go.
Think about it this way, though. So to your point, unless they move him to second, and then that would be a big change because then you'd be moving on from Jazz, which I'm fine with.
Me too.
But that's a big move. McMahon, also under contract.
2 more years, $16 million a year. I'm fine with that. But you got to get a few more sticks with contact because he's a swing and miss guy and he's going to hit 225.
But that's so therein lies the problem. Like, you've got guys under contract that, not that they're going to be impossible to move, but what do you do with them?
Well,
are we sure? Like, would you rather have McMahon as your third baseman or Bregman?
I mean, of course, I'd rather have Bregman.
Okay, but so then what do you do with McMahon? Just dump him, cut him, whatever. I mean,
can you? I don't think Bregman could play short. Last Coulter's, I'm not putting him there in a pinch short, like a little weekend series if somebody's banged up. No, he's not playing shortstop at this age every night. I think it's a little overstated. I don't know what they'll do, but I think it's overstated how little flexibility the Yankees have. Think about this. Goldschmidt gone, so you can do whatever you want at first base. You can let Ben Rice work all winter and become functional. Me too. You could trade Jazz, and he's not even making massive money. He's going to arbitration. So I think he's probably going to be in that $13 to $15 million threshold, which is good.
He'll have value.
Yeah, no question. But you can move on from him. Volpe's making peanuts. So now he's got to play better, but the money, so that's not a deterrent. So the urgency's not quite there. Wells is not making a lot of money. You could let Bellinger go if you wanted to. I don't think they do, and I certainly wouldn't. Grisham, goodbye. You're not going to bring him back. Judge is the man.
Maybe sign Real Muto, right-handed hitting catcher, to complement Wells.
Done as a hitter. Oh, that's different. Okay, that's a little different.
Well, I'm not saying you got to be the everyday catcher, but he's a veteran.
Or let Wells DH as a lefty and let Realmuto catch. He's a better catcher.
Whatever, that's what I'm saying. So just like they need Susan just mentioned it.
The righty stick.
Yeah.
I know they do.
And I would like a high character guy like that. You know, you could decide a veteran right-handed catcher. Realmuto's as good as it gets. I know he's not prime Realmuto.
No, he can run a little bit. He's got a little Do you think, listen, we could say, and we could exchange ideas, and this will keep going on, and then eventually the Mets will be coming into the conversation about their offseason. So we'll do it all for you. Sal and I'll have a blast with this for the next couple of months. But no matter what we say, do you think that the Yankees this is the money question?
I don't. I don't think they're thinking, like, I think that, I don't know this. I would bet that they're like, no, Jazz, we love Jazz. We're good with Jazz. Oh, we like McMahon at third base, and our defense is going to be better. And we have him for a full year in Yankee Stadium. He'll hit 25, 30 home runs.
Yeah, which he probably will, but he probably still hit 220.
I don't know what they're thinking about Volpe, but I would bet that there's no way they're going to trade him because the value is squat right now.
Yep.
They're probably not going to go out and sign a big shortstop. I mean, dude, I don't know. I think they're thinking maybe Lombard, maybe more Dominguez, maybe Spencer Jones. I think that's the realm that the Yankees are thinking. Bellinger does have to be back. I would assume that that's the case.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but I would not think that it's going to be major change. Why would I think it's going to be major changes when it hasn't been?
That's true. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal, and I didn't in real time. It bothered me. We talked about, maybe not sprinting the first couple of steps, and then Jazz, whatever. Before that, with the interview with his back turned to the reporters, which was completely amateur hour and childish. But I did not think there was an issue with Boone and Jazz, and I don't really think that there's necessarily an issue. But I got to tell you, I'm watching the press conference last night, Boone, post game. And one thing about Aaron is that he protects his players, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes to a fault where people get annoyed at that, where be a little more real. Like, all right, you went 0 for 4, but you didn't have, like, he just makes it seem sometimes better than it really is. But that's also him insulating and protecting players, which is a strength. But last night, when he was talking about Jazz and he was asked about that play, he didn't give him the parachute cord. He said, you got to make that play. You got to catch the ball.
Good. He's right.
Which tells me, I think that for him to say that and kind of go against his usual MO, I think the Yankees could be done with Jazz. Honestly, internally and inwardly, I think they might be fed up. And he's a good player, but I don't think he's incredibly reliable.
He's a talented athlete. He's a talented player.
Yes, maybe a better way to say it.
Yeah,
I know where you're going.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's bad. Like, we talked about this. We were texting about this last night. Like, he's got electric talent, which is, that's what, wow, look at that speed and look at that skill. To me, I don't know if I'd say good player. I would say a losing player with not the right mindset. I don't even care about the yawning nonsense, but just the whole total package. He's a little bit of a better version of Gleyber Torres to me, as far as the talent goes. 30 homers, 30 steals. Gleyber didn't have offensively. Gleyber, I would trust as a better player, but just overall, Jazz more athletic, more exciting player to watch. I think those similar vein to Gleyber, where I just look at him as a player that's not all there.
The difference, though, with Gleyber versus Jazz, and this is where the evaluation gets a little tough, is that Jazz flies, man.
That's what I'm saying. I
the
know.
stress that he puts on defense and when he's locked in. I'm going to give you an old name from the Knicks, and I'm going to give you a comparison here, and very similar. And it's ironic because the player I'm about to mention, number one, I love, and he went on to do good things and became a winner. But when he was here, he was sloppy, even though he was fun. To me, Jazz is a young Jamal Crawford. Jazz out and Jamal.
I never loved Crawford. I mean,
that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right. He was fun, but he didn't win. To your point, you said Jazz not a winner. I don't disagree. Jamal was always like yo-yoing with the showboat dribble and jacking up 20-something shots.
Highly skilled.
Highly skilled. He'd get some points, but he'd shoot 41% overall, 32% from downtown. In a lot of ways, so like when Jamal would look good, he would look amazing. When Jazz looks good, Jazz looks amazing. What about the other times when you just got to make the basic play? I don't trust him.
Or put the bat on the ball in a big spot. All right, BT and Sal on the fan. We'll get back to your calls. Also, power up when we come back. 888-808-1019.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. After their first loss of the season, Eagles stars Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown had a private chat about fixing the team. Barkley insisted it wasn't some dramatic players meeting, just a casual talk. But meanwhile, the offense still can't find consistency. We'll see if this talk actually leads to any big changes. I'm Maggie Gray.
Your favorite neighborhood spots run unsquare. You know the ones. Maybe it's the popular shop that just opened a new location by you, or the big sports bar that's always packed on game day. These places make the neighborhood, and the money spent there stays in your community. Square powers more than 4 million neighborhood businesses worldwide. To learn more, go to square.com, or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Rutgers football is back in Piscataway throughout the rest of the fall. Don't miss a moment. This is Coach Schiano. Keep chopping. And join the fun on the Rutgers Boardwalk. Free rides, games, entertainment, parades, and more, all before every home game. It's all free family fun at the Rutgers Boardwalk. Visit us online at scarletknights.com. Don't miss a moment. See Coach Schiano and the Rutgers football team all fall long at SHI Stadium.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel, because with FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot, you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each week. To get in on this action on Thursday, all you have to do is place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores the first or last TD of the game, you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/BT to take a shot at the jackpot. FanDuel.com/BT. And that is your shot to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, also the official partner of us here at WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct pick or last TD pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Upgrade your laundry routine with a durable and reliable Maytag laundry pair at Lowe's. Like the new Maytag washer and dryer with performance-enhanced stain-fighting power. Designed to cut through serious dirt and grime. And what's great is this laundry pair is in stock and ready for delivery when you need it the most. Don't miss out. Shop Maytag in-store or online today at Lowe's.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-485-7220. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-485-7220 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-485-7220 to see if you qualify. That's 800-485-7220.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99, and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Talk sports with Evan and Tiki. Afternoons from 2 to 7. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps. Now it's time to power up with BT and Sal.
Power Up is brought to you by Princeton Longevity Center. Experience the power of personalized medicine. And with that, we have the Week 6, or heading into Week 6 NFL Power Rankings. This was a difficult one for me, BT. A lot of the top teams took an L last week. Not that that automatically means you're going to drop them down or off of it, but for me, a lot of parity in the league and some teams that may surprise you here with my list. This is an unorthodox, basically totally different list than I've had the first 5 weeks. All right, I'll start.
Yeah.
Number 5, I got the 49ers on there. An impressive win against the Rams. Nobody gave them a chance last Thursday night. They have been banged up beyond belief here. Still 4-1 on the year. 2 division road wins against 2 teams that I think are pretty darn good in the Seahawks and the Rams. And they're not even healthy yet. So I have to have the Niners on there. An impressive start through 5 weeks for them, 4-1. The 49ers are number 5 for me.
I like it. You're right. I'm going to have to juggle this thing up a little bit here. There's no more undefeated teams. Eagles and the Bills, obviously, were 1 and 2 for me. They both lost here. Number 5, I didn't think I'd consider this team at all. I'm going Jaguars. The Jaguars have back-to-back wins against your 49ers, who I thought about as well, and Kansas City. Now, Kansas City's a losing team, but, you know, to win, even though that game was in Jacksonville, to beat Mahomes and show some growth there, the way they did it, I never thought I'd see this, and I'm not sure if they stay there, though they do have a couple of winnable games coming up. The Jaguars, number 5.
Yeah, Jags were actually a tough omission for me. I'd be curious to see the rest of your list. I couldn't put the Jags on there if I wasn't going to put the Colts on there, and I'm not putting the Colts on there. Now, you could argue that they should be. I mean, based on their point differential, the way that they've played, they did beat Denver, who you know is going to be on my list. It's just a matter of where they were. I had Denver last week, obviously, with their big win over the Eagles. I'm going to have them up here. But I couldn't justify it. But I mean, not far off. You could make an argument for Jacksonville, for Indianapolis. I made mine for the Niners. All right, you go Jacksonville number 5. I have number 4, the Bills, dropping down. They were the top seed for a while. Then they were number 2, I think, behind the lines the last couple of weeks for my power rankings. You lose to a division team at home. I know the Patriots are better. I know they're good. The Bills, if you look at who they've beaten here, the Ravens are awful. So what I thought the Ravens were, I was proven incorrect. They are terrible, and it's not just because Lamar Jackson got hurt, because they were losing before he got hurt. They beat the Ravens, the Jets, the Dolphins, the Saints. Arguably, 4 of the, maybe not even arguably, record-wise, 4 of the worst teams in the NFL. And then they lose to the one competent team that they played at home in a division game. They're lucky they're still on the list. I have the Bills at number 4.
So do I. I've got them at the same spot, and I had them, 1 and 2 for most of the season.
Yeah.
I love them. I think my confidence has been dented a little bit here. I remember saying one thing last week and it worried me, but I thought that they would handle the Pats, and they didn't. Too often during all of their stretches, even wins against teams that really aren't that good, as you identified, there were long stretches where they didn't play well. Like I'm talking about like multiple quarters where they didn't look good. You get clipped by those Pats, and even the wins, Miami and the Saints, they didn't destroy him. You held them off. You held off Miami. You held off the Saints. Didn't cover the big number against the Saints. Not that I'm really incorporating gambling into this. I'm not. But the Bills just look a little different than I thought they would. Number 4 for me.
Yeah, this one to me was difficult, and I'm sure you would have an issue with this and maybe some other people, but I'm going to put them up there. I've been hesitating to put them on my list, and maybe the question is why are they so high. I have the Bucs at number 3. That was one hell of a win on the road in Seattle. I mean, look at their record. They've been banged up themselves. Baker Mayfield, I mean, I wish he were the quarterback of one of these 2 New York teams. He is a guy that we would absolutely love in this town. Look at what Todd Bowles has done with the defense there. They can run the football. Again, banged up beyond belief. You saw it in the Jet game where they were banged up. I thought the Jets were going to win that game. They almost did. But the Bucs, 4-1 start, BT, doing it in different ways. I know it hasn't been overly impressive, but if you factor everything in, and that to me is a very, very quality win in Seattle, the way that they did that, I have to put the Bucs on there. I have them at number 3 right now.
I mean, listen, are we cheating off each other? Tampa, me.
Wow.
I got him. Baker Mayfield right now, if it's about value with some betting here. You want to throw a couple of bucks on Baker to win the MVP? I think now's the time to do it because I think the odds are going to get shorter as the year goes on. He's got 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, 1 pick, and doing what MVPs do. What MVPs do. He's got 4 game-winning drives, 4 of them, man. They are well coached. I mean, Evans has been banged up. Godwin's been banged up. They've had some injuries too. We don't even really factor that in, but they're still winning. And this guy's gumption, you're right. If he played here, we would love him. Oh. We would love him. Josh Allen, just to pay this off, plus 150. He's the shortest. Mahomes at plus 500. Baker number 3.
I wonder
plus 650 for the MVP odds right now.
I wonder how we match up here with these top 2. We definitely have one same team.
I know I love one team more than you, so I'm going to guess the team that's 2 for me is not even on your list.
Probably, and I love one team, and I'm not sure you're there yet. I'm going to go number 2, the Broncos, who beat the Eagles last week. I told you about Denver. I know that it was a late comeback for them and not overly impressive. Still, a win on the road in Philadelphia, even with a down Philly team. That was an impressive win for still a young Bronco team, but their defense has been swarming. They've coughed up a couple of games, specifically to the Colts. They should have won that game, and the Colts have been dominant otherwise outside of that. So I think the Broncos are going to get stronger as the year goes on. The next 2 opponents for Denver, the Jets Sunday, the Giants after that, Dallas. I think Denver right now is about to take off. That was a huge win for them on the road against the champion. Sean Payton has coached his rear end off there. I like the way Bo Nix plays. They have weapons, running the football, throwing the football, and obviously the defense. I got the Denver Broncos number 2 on my list.
I give you credit. You've been on them for a minute. I was like, really, Denver? Listen, I don't have them on my list, but I see why you have them. I'm going to stick with Philly. I know what happened. I get it. I don't like it. And they have not looked the part all year. I mean, ignoring Saquon is one of the dumbest things you could possibly do. So you would imagine that Saquon's going to go, get a lot moving forward here. The passing offense is completely inconsistent and statistically broken, like 29th and 30th in multiple passing categories here. I listen, it's not full faith in Philly. It's probably not quite all the way there yet with Tampa. And the Commanders, Jaden's been hurt. Some other thing. I like Green Bay. I don't love them. This is not about me saying Philly's amazing. It's more about a state of the NFC, but I've got Philly number 2.
If obviously a tough omission for me, but I think they're about to go in the opposite direction. I think they're vulnerable tonight. We'll see. We'll see if they bounce back in a big way and destroy the Giants. Talent-wise, they should. Historically, they have destroyed the Giants. Giants haven't won a division game in years or whatever. It's been 8 straight, as Gordon Damer said before. So it should be a mismatch. They're 7.5-point favorites on the road. I just don't think Philly... I think this could be more we saw a couple years ago where everything was in question there. Sirianni, Hurts, Brown, some issues. Barkley hasn't been the same this year. Not his fault, but just not feeding them the ball. I think there are some deep issues with Philly. So a tough omission, but I left them off my list, the Jaguars and the Colts, and the number 1 team would be the Lions. I said this a couple weeks ago. I think they're about to take off as well. They've been playing. Dude, Goff is on another level. Forget even the opponents. They're squashing them for the most part, and I do think that their defense is better than it was a year ago. However, their next 2 games, maybe even 3 games, actually...
Who do they have again?
Well, okay, let me give you their upcoming schedule.
Yep.
Sunday night at Kansas City.
All right.
Now
that's going to be fun. That's right, at KC.
Kansas City's got to win this football game. They're at home. Kansas City has to win it. Their season could be on the line here.
They would be 2-4 at that point, right? If they lose.
Detroit doesn't have to win the game, obviously, because of where they're at. Yeah, Kansas City has struggled to start this year. They're 2-3 right now after a tough loss to the Jaguars, as you mentioned before. But I like the Lions. I would like them in this game. I just think that they're the best team in football. And you look at their schedule coming up here, it's going to get tough for Detroit. So maybe we'll learn more about them and just, in fact, how good they are. After the Chiefs Sunday night, they got the Bucs at home, Vikings at home, at the Commanders, at the Eagles.
That's tough road. Wow, that's tough road.
I think they're the best team in football. We'll see.
I got them there as well. I mean, listen, for me to have Detroit win, I think this is only the second time I've had them number 1. I think what happens, and then we're all guilty of this, when something amazing happens in week 1, we kind of overstate it. Positively. When something a little wacky happens, like, maybe this team's not as good, how'd they lose? And then we kind of hang on to that. It's almost like we harbor this lack of trust for something we believed in coming in if our eyes tell us something different in week 1. So I held on to that week 1 loss. I did. I admit it. I absolutely did. And listen, we talked about this, the offensive linemen, the coaching staff that they lost, even though obviously Campbell's still there. Nobody else is undefeated, and they have looked really good. And they're not undefeated, obviously, so it's not like I can say this team is and put them 1. But the last 4 games, they have found themselves, and I think Detroit's the best team in football.
Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. All right, that was a quick break from the Yankee talk, doing some NFL. We will do more Giants next hour, but back to your calls on the Yankees. Obviously, their season is over. Yankees go home. Blue Jays move on. It actually happened. 888-808-1019. BT and Sal on the Fan.
It's Keith McPherson at night on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
All of this blood is on Shane and Dable. Not only did you move on from good players, those good players have gone elsewhere, they're winning, and we're losing. Maybe we could have figured it out with those guys, or maybe somebody else could have figured it out with those guys. It's tough.
Stream Keith McPherson live or on demand with the Odyssey app, and podcast the show wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're thinking about popping the question, don't overthink it. Go where generations of New Yorkers have gone. HL Gross Jewelers in Garden City. These guys have been in the diamond game for over 100 years. 5 generations of helping people find the perfect engagement ring. No pressure, no games, just the best prices, real education, and one-on-one honest service you want when you're making a big decision. Don't make the ring buying experience stressful, and trust HL Gross in Garden City. Visit online at hlgross.com.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, you're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a month in bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-351-4596. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-351-4596. 800-351-4596. 800-351-4596.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
At 1 o'clock on Gordon Damer. This report is sponsored by Ray Katina. Experience the power of 3. Visit bensfam.com. Well, it's back to the drawing board for the Yankees after their ouster from the playoffs last night in the Bronx. Blue Jays off to the ALCS for the first time since 2016. As for the Yankees, it's now all about answering the questions for next season. Among those questions, Cody Bellinger's free agency.
The ending's the worst, right? Especially when you know you have a really good group and a group of guys that really came together so well, at the right time, the final couple of months, this was a team.
Meanwhile, National League Division Series, both of them continue today with Game 4s. First up, Phillies, Dodgers, then Brewers try to close out the Cubs at Wrigley. The Giants have lost 8 straight division games. They get a chance to end that skid tonight. We'll host the Eagles. Jermaine Luminor is expected to play despite a sore back. You can catch all the action here on The Fan with pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 8:15. Hockey tonight, Rangers in Buffalo. The Islanders face off against the Penguins, and the Devils are in Carolina. Fan weather sponsored by Motion Sports Medicine. Is pain stopping you from doing what you love? Physical therapists at Motion create a personalized plan that can get you moving safely and confidently again. No referral needed. Most insurance is accepted. Find a location near you and schedule an appointment today at motionptg.com. It's 57 and mostly sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Gordon Taylor.
Have something to say? Dial us 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants, who will be in action tonight, taking on the Eagles, hosting the Eagles, their division rival at MetLife Stadium. We'll do more on that in a little bit. Got to get back to the Yankees here, who, there's nothing worse than, and Boone said this after the game, but there's nothing worse when the season is over and all that hope that you have, even right down to the ninth inning. I told you, I was expecting the Yankees to come back, still holding out hope that they would come back and maybe tie the game, and who knows what was going on from there, but all that hope that you think about throughout the course of the game, oh, we're going to win tonight, and then game 5 and all that. Once the final out takes place, it's just so abrupt. There's never a smooth transition into having the season end. Mm-hmm. It goes from all the hope and thought that maybe there's going to be another game, maybe they'll extend the series, maybe there'll be another series, and then boom, just like that, it's over, and the other teams are celebrating on your turf.
Yeah, I had to tell my son last night. I said, you're going to get one at some point. You're going to get one. I said, Daddy had to wait till his 20s, I
didn't even think about that. That's right. So from Colt's perspective, in my world, it's like, 16 years, it's a long time, but
he's 10.
I've seen plenty of them, right? He hasn't even,
No. It's crazy, too. Like, what we
tell him Uncle Sal's been waiting for 40 years.
I hear you. Hopefully it's 60. Hopefully Cohen doesn't go bonkers this whole season and get like 9 pitchers. So I don't think, as much as we commit to football, and if you're a big Knicks guy or Rangers or one of the hockey teams, think about the commitment emotionally, work-wise, financially, interest-wise that we have in baseball. Because now, so it's October. Now we'll do a lot of football, but from here on out, up until the hot stove, you and I will have probably a conversation or two a day about a baseball-specific story, either to the Yankees or the Mets. So that's half of October, November, even up to Christmas, right? That's basically 3 more months once the season ends. And then February, once they go to Tampa and Port St. Lucie, it's February, it's March, it's April, it's May, it's June, it's July, it's August, September, it's October. At least for the Yankees, it's October. I think that's basically 10 months where you don't check out. So when it ends, it's tough. I'm not going to lie.
Baseball, and it even hit me like I knew that it was over, but just driving in, listening to Boomer and Gio talking about how that's it for the baseball season in New York.
I know.
It can't be it.
That's it, dude.
That's it. It can't be it.
Somebody just sent me a tweet. Now, I've got to verify that. I got to do a little digging here. I guess somebody heard Clappish, who's obviously been around for a long time, and Buster Olney, who's the same thing, but well-respected baseball people. They just said that Bellinger's not a priority for the Yankees.
No way.
That would be very unless they're going after Tucker. I mean, I'd be surprised by that, but I got to do a little digging. I just got that before.
All right, so then my question would be, well, Tucker's not a center fielder, right?
No. Then at that point, you could, maybe then I wouldn't do this, but maybe they bring back Grisham on the cheap in their eyes, or they give the job to one of the kids, which is obviously dicey.
All right, by the way, I'm fine with Grisham coming back. He just can't be the leadoff hitter. Like, that's ridiculous.
But I don't want him even being a starter, because if he's going to be the starter and you're going to see lefties in October, he's never going to hit.
All right, but Dominguez is not the center fielder. Like,
well, hold on. I know you asked Susan that. So, but you guys keep saying that, and you might be proven right. All I'm saying is, I just want to see him. The guy, he came up as a center fielder. Can I see if he can play center field?
By the way, it's not about being proven right. I'm not saying whether he could or can't. I don't believe that he can. I'm just saying that they don't believe that it's not like they're saying, well, we believe he's a left fielder, and maybe we'll give him a look at some point at center field. Yeah. The reason he is in left is because they know he can't play center.
Well, then why was he touted as a center field prospect?
I don't know. That I can't answer. You have to ask them. But I'm just saying,
they could be right. I just want. Can we just validate that thought? Can we prove it?
No, you want to see it with your own eyes.
I do, because I think it's easier to play center field. Now, if you can't run, then you're done. But if you've got the requisite speed, the angles, honestly, center fielder to me, it's easier to play center. Think about
How is it easier?
I'm going to tell you. Now, I don't know if I'm right. That's like one position I really just didn't play, because I could not run. But number one, you're not getting bad bounces off the wall, like Judge in Toronto where he misplayed that into a triple. You'll never see that in center field because there's nothing down the foul lines, number one. Number two, again, you've got to be able to run it. If you can't, you got no shot. But you've got more margin for error, whether it's the guy to your left in right field or the guy to your right in left, to help you on those balls in the gap, all right? Whereas if you're a left fielder and the ball's to your right, nobody's helping you. It's you or you either make the play or you don't.
There's less ground to cover.
But that's why I'm saying if you could run, you have to be able to run. He flies.
Reading the bat off the ball, there's going to be more opportunities. Like center field.
Listen, I think the spin's different too. Because when you hit a ball, now a ball can knuckle. Like if you hit it really hard and it's right at somebody, you'll see the ball like almost like a knuckleball or a splitter presents itself where it goes down. But to me, if I'm playing center and the ball's hit to me, it's going to be a fairly true spin, whether it's off a lefty or a righty bat. If I'm in the corners, you're getting that spin to the line. I just think it's harder. Now, if they don't think to play left field, if they don't think that he could play center, well, then get rid of him because we know he can't play left.
Well, that's kind of my point. I'd be curious to see what happens here with Tucker. You mentioned him last offseason. We know the Yankees are at least interested in trying to trade for him. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if that solves all their issues, though. I still want a leadoff hitter in front of Aaron Judge.
I know.
They've got to figure that out. Who's that going to be?
You try to trade for Quan? There was you talked about that. We talked about that during the season.
Quan. See if the Guardians would be suckers to take Dominguez and Volpe or whatever. Dominguez plus something else. Yes. Quan is a perfect fit. That's exactly the player that I want. I wanted him at the deadline. I want him now. Go get Steven Kwan. Put him in left field. Put him in leadoff. You don't have to worry about it.
Why wouldn't they want him? Because, Jason's making no money. And even if, I don't know if I really want to give up Jones. I think at this point I'd rather give up Dominguez. But I think there's a deal to be had, which is the point. And he solves a need for the Yankees. And then whomever the Guardians, in theory, would get back isn't making any money, which obviously fits their business model.
Yeah, I would think. I don't know exactly what they're looking for, but yes, that's the type of guy that I want. Play outfield, put him in. He's going to play every day and bat him leadoff. Boom, you are set. Imagine their lineup with that. Somebody like that in front of Aaron Judge as opposed to the, I'm not so sure. BT and Sal on the Fan. Dylan calling from New Hampshire. What's up, Dylan?
Hey, bub.
Hey, Sal. Thanks for taking my call. Trent went 2 for 17 in the last series. Pathetic 0 for 5 day at the plate on the previous day. Where was Dominguez this whole time? He's a 22-year-old kid that wants to hit. Reminder that he hasn't seen a live game pitch since 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, he hasn't seen a live pitch. So why wouldn't you just put him in?
For where?
Put him in the outfield.
What are you talking about?
In the outfield.
Are you talking about a specific situation or are you talking about playing him?
Playing him in the playoffs. Because, he looks like you can tell when a player can hit, and when he stepped in that box, you can tell he wants to hit.
Right. Well, how did he
more live than anybody.
So did he not want to hit in the regular season?
What are you talking about? He batted .255 in the regular season.
Jason Dominguez?
They didn't give him the at-bats, yeah.
Jason Dominguez had a disastrous regular season. He was awful. Now, you could disagree. You could think it was good. You think Dominguez deserved to play in the postseason more than Trent Grisham?
Absolutely.
Based on what?
Trent Grisham for starters, he ropes right-handed pitching.
He hit 30.
The only defect.
He hit 34 home runs.
He can't.
Dylan, you're losing me a little bit.
I think. Thanks for the call there. I think what he's saying is, and I get it. I'm not all the way there because if you hit him, you're going to have to put him in the field.
Who?
Dominguez.
Well, that's number one.
Which is a problem.
Number two, he can't hit right-handed.
Yeah, well, I think he had a better year than you do. Right. Now, he hit almost, I think it was 260, and he stole some bags, and he had about a 3-week run where he was banging righties, and he looked really good. And then, he fizzled out a little bit. I think the place now, you're not going to set him up there for Volpe in the 7th, because it would have been lefty on lefty, and he can't hit. He can't hit as a righty. Right. So we know that. So the options were limited. I think, to me, it's a little bit less about Dominguez, even though I appreciate the call and the thought. It's more about Grisham. Never, ever, ever, no matter how long he plays, he will never be an effective hitter against lefties. So if you know that, right? Why would you want him back? You're going to face lefties in October. Now,
having him back's a different argument than saying Dominguez should have been playing in the postseason.
Yeah,
Dominguez didn't earn the spot in the postseason to be playing.
And you're not going to sit Grisham against a righty, which would be the only place that you would play. No, I'm just talking through it. I get it. Right. It was a little bit all over the map. I was just trying to walk us through it there. I think, and I'm just fundamentally opposed to investing in somebody. Now, on the cheap, when you get it with Juan Soto, sure, he'll be my fourth outfielder. He can run into a couple of home runs. He's a Gold Glove center fielder. Sure, come on with Juan. I'll take you. But now when you got to play every night and you hit 170 against lefties, you got no value for me. Yeah. If I'm trying to win a championship, you just don't.
Yeah, that I understand. I think he is a serviceable center fielder with pop, and you'd have to have him bat in the bottom of the order. But the idea that you would play Dominguez as if Dominguez did something great this year. This year, you could say it wasn't a disaster. Maybe that was a little strong.
Yeah.
He did not come anywhere close to living up to the expectations.
I don't disagree. I thought we'd get more power.
And like the Yankees would have wanted to use him. The biggest problem is, forget about even his defense. You mentioned it. He can't hit right-handed. That's what they need. They would have needed another option there to where, hey, in that spot in the seventh inning where I had a major issue with Grisham, everybody's focused on Volpe. I didn't want Grisham hitting there. That's the spot where you say, all right, you got the lefty, I'm going to go with Dominguez off the bench. And even if you brought in a righty to counter that, then he flips and hits lefty. Like, you're good to go with Dominguez pinch hitting. If he could hit from the right-handed side, he hasn't done that well enough. That was a problem. He was basically useless outside of being a pinch runner for Boone.
I think what's appealing, it's more about possibility than the reality, because he runs like the wind. You've seen him hit a couple moonshots, not enough. He does have a good arm, even though he's sloppy in the outfield. But you still got to be able to be a buttoned-up, reliable baseball player. You have to be able to. Your manager's got to trust you.
And it's also easy to say that after Grisham's postseason. Going into the postseason, Grisham hit 34 home runs.
Yeah.
He was a prolific bat for the Yankees all year long.
What about lefties? What about against lefties?
And not to mention the glove. No, I'm just saying, and not to mention the glove.
Yeah. They're great center field. They're very good.
If they had a better option, I believe they would have used it. Dominguez was not the better option. Brett is in Fairfield. What's up, Brett?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Yo.
Susan had mentioned the Yankees plan. And, the Yankees plan for at least the last 8 years is the prime example of why analytics and the reliance on home runs just won't get you the World Series. And, the results are the proof. It's staring us right in the face. If you're a true numbers guy, you know that analytics work over 162 games. But in the playoffs, where you have a small sample size, you can't rely on numbers. And because you might not hit a homer for 3 games, and then the series is over.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, it's a fair point, Brett, and thank you for the call. Look, information is good, obviously. Relying on the analytics and saying, well, this is what's supposed to happen because the math says it's going to happen, that is a faulty logic. Relying on putting the bat on the ball and playing baseball, to me, is a more sound philosophy. I don't know, heck, would you rather have a well-rounded baseball player or somebody that is going to hit, even if it's 30 home runs, but is going to strike out a ton as well? And if that power goes cold in the postseason, which we've seen time and time again from the Yankees, then what? At least the other way, it's, hey, this is a team, the Blue Jays were a team that puts the bat on the ball. That's what they do. The Red Sox had 12 strikeouts against Cam Schlittler. Last night he had 2 against the Blue Jays. There is something to that. Putting the ball in play is effective. It's proven. So I don't know why the Yankees wouldn't at least want to have a little bit more of a balance in that regard.
I think that they would want to. I don't think they know how to get there. And even if they know how to get there, guys like Stanton and all the other things we've talked about prevent them logistically from getting there.
Right. Well, now it's too late almost. You have to blow the whole thing up. You're going to have to pay guys to go. We've been talking about this for years. The best example, and I referenced this early, would be Ernie Clement versus Jazz Chisholm, where if you looked at the data and analytics and even watched those two, you'd be like, wow, come on, I got to take Jazz. Look at the athleticism. Look at the power. Look at the pop, the easy power, 30-30. Come on. Who would, if you asked every fan, who would you rather have, Jazz or Clement? The majority of them are going to say, come on, man. Well, it's not even a question because you're playing fantasy baseball. In reality, Clement is the winning player. That's the guy that you'd rather have. The guy that's going to wreak havoc on opposing pitchers and be a pest and put the bat on the ball and take the extra base and play sound defense. That's the winning player. Not that you could win with 9 of those guys. Maybe you can. Look at the Brewers. But get away from the, 30-30. You want 1 star. The Blue Jays have that in Vlad. 2, maybe with Springer. Sure, fair enough. Everybody else is just a solid pro, at least offensive player.
Here's the problem, though, with the thought about, Jazz and Clement.
Yeah.
And I agree, like in October, but over the course of 162, Jazz is going to run into more, and he's going to help you beat inferior teams, and you're going to be a more prolific offense with Jazz Chisholm playing 150-plus games if he's healthy at second base rather than somebody like Clement. But then you get
but the Blue Jays won 94 games with him.
Yeah, but he didn't play every day.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had 545 at bats.
Did he have that many?
He played 157 games, yeah.
But did he bounce around a little bit? He didn't play all second base, did he?
No, I think he bounced around a little bit, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, BT. Just look at the...
Oh, okay.
I mean, he played 157 games, had 545 at bats.
I didn't realize it was that much. And the other thing, too, you got to look at,
151 hits.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, that's a little more than I thought. Fair enough. But the other thing, too, with somebody like Jazz, and this is where it gets very tricky, and we went through this with Glaber, and it's a different skill set. Jazz is a much more explosive, dynamic athlete. We know the differences between Jazz and somebody like Glaber Torres, but it's very hard to make that determination as a fan and as an organization when you truly are the best version of what you're going to be. Like, that's why I have myself no problem saying I want no part of, even if he's batting 6th next year, of Grisham playing center, because I know he'll never be an effective hitter against lefties. Right. That's not going to change. Move on. I'm done. Somebody like Jazz Chisholm, whether it's a little immature, and I really do like Jazz. I like him as a player. I like him as a person. I love his energy. I've talked about that. But like just a little, not even the yawn, but just a little sleepy here and there. First base against the Marlins, and he got picked off, and he said he'd do it again, or got picked off the pop up. Yep. Then the other night when he stared into space when the ball's banging around, and the runner scoring. Like, I don't think that that's going to change, and I think he's going to always be a free swinger who comes up empty more times than not against lefties and or good right-handed pitching. So if I make that determination, why not move on now?
Yeah, no, I get it. And you also would like to limit certain weaknesses, like you said, whether it's Grisham, who can't hit righties, Ben Rice, who doesn't have a
can't hit lefties.
Can't hit lefties. Ben Rice, who doesn't have a position. Giancarlo, who doesn't have a position and can't run. There are a lot of...
Yeah, there's a lot of things to work around.
Oh, man, a lot of limitations. It shouldn't be that. You could live with 1 or 2. You can't have 5, 6 guys having those limitations. Bill is in Torrington, Connecticut. What's up, Bill?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. How are you?
Hey, Bill.
I'm disappointed Yankee fan, but I wanted to congratulate Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I'm proud of him. He actually knows 3 words of English. The Yankees lose. Did you hear him say that in the post game last night?
Yeah, multiple times. He and Poppy were saying that over and over again. Yeah,
it went from we play today, we win today, that's it, to the Yankees lose.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I was pretty upset, but you know what? I woke up this morning. I got a chuckle out of it now. At least, it just goes to show they care more about the Yankees losing than them winning. But, anyways,
well, I don't think that's the case. I think they care about winning. They're excited. They earned it. I mean, the Blue Jays earned it. Can't take it away from them.
That's true. They did. BT, I want to get back to you. I remember 30 years ago, this year, sitting in I knew exactly where I was when Donnie Baseball hit that home run.
Yep.
That still is my greatest moment in Yankee, in sports history. I still get chills thinking about it when I watch the replays.
Oh, that's the best.
I love that.
I love them.
What about the Judge homer, Bill? Did that do it for you, too? Did that give you the feels and the tickles? The Judge home run off the foul pole?
You know what? It did. It was
Come
very
on,
exciting. I love Judge. But my problem is this. The reason why I'll never get as excited again is because I have too much vested interest in baseball games now. I don't have that feeling like I did when I was 18, when I didn't have money, whether or not somebody hit a home run or not. I feel like that takes away from it.
When you're younger, it hits you a little different.
And thanks for that. I was going to start messing with him a little bit and poking the bear, but you don't want to go there. So he starts talking about the money aspect of it. Yeah, it's never going to be the same when you're younger. I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't. If I were a Yankee fan and that happened last night, I wouldn't want to come to work for a week. I mean, that's a brutal. When you have your season end like that, and you see the Blue Jays celebrating and all that stuff, and Judge again has to go home short of getting to a World Series or without winning a World Series. I mean, that's painful. I get it. Been there plenty of times. But really, that's what being a sports fan is about. BT and Sal on the Fan. More of your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019. We'll get to the Giants and Eagles tonight as well. Guys, by now, you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle-resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag, and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
I'm Chelsea Messenger, helping you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. Play of the day is Giants running back Cam Scatterbo over his receiving prop of 13.5 yards for -115. Scatterbo has been a bigger part of the passing game since Malik Neighbors tore his ACL. Scatterbo had 6 catches for 45 yards last week. The Eagles' defense is also giving up the 8th most receiving yards to opposing running backs. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app. Please gamble responsibly.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com.
Viant. Data-driven advertising made simple. The key to reaching new customers is not overspending on search or social. It's streaming TV, where you can make the right impression with the right audiences. No stress, no guesswork, just smarter advertising that drives new business growth. Viant. Visit ViantCTV.com to learn how easy data-driven advertising can be.
Clogged toilet, leaky faucet on 1. Ready?
Uh-oh, you got a plumbing problem blitzing through the line. Time to audible and call in the pros. Roto-Rooter is your go-to defense for clogs, leaks, and any plumbing fix. Call the right play and download the Roto-Rooter app and easily book an appointment and receive exclusive service discounts. Touchdown! Don't get sacked by plumbing issues. Call in Roto-Rooter, your MVP for plumbing solutions. Download the app today and score big on savings.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released 3rd-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Water damage happens fast. So can the cleanup when you call on the restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store, and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what's to do with your unwanted bills? Maybe turn them into paper airplanes headed to see you never, AT&T and T-Mobile. Jokes aside, the best 5G network has you covered with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store, and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metric True Score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person receiving the deal. Additional terms apply.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia. Movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Listen weekdays from 1 to 2 on The Fan for the call of the day with BT and Sal, brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your friends pretend they know sports. WFAN actually does. Get smarter, louder, and way more annoying at watch parties. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Oh, yeah.
BT and Sal back on The Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Did you see Timothy Chalamet at the game last night?
No.
He was there at the Yankee game.
Who was he with?
You know, is Kylie? Is it who's he? Which one's he dating? Kylie or Kendall? I'm not sure.
Oh, that's right.
Is it Kylie or Kendall? Which one is Timothy Chalamet dating?
See that?
I forget. Kylie, I want to say.
Was he into the game, or was he just getting free tickets and staring into space?
He is dating Kylie. He was there with the Yankee gear on.
Mm-hmm.
They gave him a little camera love, and he went into the camera like five, like he was doing with the Knicks.
Oh, okay.
Look, Timothy Chalamet, for all I know, is the greatest kid ever, or greatest adult, whatever. I don't even know how old he is.
He's pretty young. He's a man. He's a grown man.
I think we've had enough in New York sports of Timothy Chalamet. Like, it's one thing if you were a legitimate diehard Knick fan, which
he seems to be an awesome Knick guy.
So all right, so good. Like, let's leave that alone. Like, Chalamet could become the greatest Knick fan, next to Ben Stiller and Spike Lee and whatever for years to come. But now he's going to start working his way into the Yankees here. Like, I never ever recall seeing Timothy Chalamet at a Yankee game before. Now I don't know if he has or not. I don't know his history. Maybe he is, but. Even if he is, do we need to show him, like, come on, man?
No, I can't stand that stuff. Now, it doesn't get me mad. Like, it's not about the actor or the actress or any of that. It's just like, it just doesn't do anything for me. You see Spike, and I know Spike was there, and you see these other celebrities, and you don't know hate, but, well, Rick's different. I mean, come on.
Spike,
he's going to have a top 5 team this year. Rick can sit wherever he wants, right behind that Yankee dugout. Rick was there every night. Yeah. I think that Bobby Bacala, what I like to know, because we know Spike had a lot of Met stuff and do the right thing, like the posters and some Met and Brooklyn Dodger stuff as well, as he told us, because we brought that up to him when we had him on the show at Fanatics Fest over at the Javits Center. Steve Sciarippa, I don't know the answer to it. He's a big Yankee guy, but was he rocking a Mets jersey in the mid-'80s? I mean, he's of that age, so
also, like, how many
I don't know the answer.
How many games you need to go to?
Yeah, I know. I can't be bothered.
Don't you think a lot of it is, like, he wants to feed the ego? And whatever, to each their own.
Yeah,
but, like, all right, let's go to the game. And then so I could be wrecking. I saw Harvey was there last night. Now, I don't know if
Harvey. Matt Harvey?
Yeah, he was sitting right behind home plate. I don't know if it's a business thing with him. Anyway, like Steve Sciarippa, he's thinking, like, let's go to the game. Yeah, I like the Yankees. Sure, I love baseball, playoff game, but also wants to be seen and recognized and has that. Hey, Bobby Bacala, can we get a?
Yeah, it's got to be a big part of that.
100%. Can we get a picture? Can we sign whatever?
Sure. Where's Junior? How's Junior doing?
100% of that.
I might be. I don't know. I think he's a real fan. I don't know.
Come on, was he there in the 90s?
Well, The Sopranos. Sopranos' first year was what?
All right, so he's just even more so. Like, I remember Steve Sciarippa being at Knicks games for years.
Yes,
even
for
when
sure.
they were
Same with
losing.
Spike. Spike was up top.
100%. Like, I don't remember Spike up top, but I remember he's been at the Knicks games as far as I can remember. Watching Knicks basketball.
His first real money that he made when he was. I told you, I read his book. And I'm not really sure why I read it, but I did read it a long time ago. And he used to sit up top in the blue seats, the old blue seats at the Guard. He made, I guess it was his first project. I think he got like $25,000 or $30,000. Bought Knicks season tickets.
Okay, fair enough.
Gotta respect
but
it.
we've seen him. We've seen Bobby Bacala, Steve Sharippa at Knicks games, even when they were bad for years. So I get it. All right, he likes going to Knicks game. I don't recall seeing these guys at Yankee games.
You know what bothers me more? And you're probably right, but here's what bothers me more. Like, I think Steve Sharippa played basketball at Brooklyn College. He doesn't look like a basketball player, but yeah, I heard he was actually pretty good.
I've seen
something like that.
I've seen something where he was shooting, and he did look good.
Well, he was playing
shooting the basketball.
Wasn't there a scene outside of the Bing or outside of the Satriels where he was shooting hoops with
maybe
Buscemi or what? I think he was, or Vito.
I don't know. I feel like I've at least seen it before.
Be careful when you guard Vito.
By the way, I can't fool everybody. Apparently, Erica Herskowitz texted me saying, "Stop! You know it's Kylie. You're just trying to look manly by pretending you don't know." Guilty as charged.
I love Herskowitz. I have not seen her today. Herskowitz is great. She's one of my favorites. I love Erica Herskowitz.
I love Erica.
Yeah, big fan.
We used to work together when she was doing the updates. Obviously, I was working behind the scenes back at the old place in Astoria. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Andrew calling from Eastchester. What's up, Andrew?
Last thing I want to do is give the Hollywood elite a pass, but Chalamet is born and raised New Yorker, so he gets maybe a semi-pass. The Jenners, on the other hand, leave them on the tracks and wait for a 4 train to.
Well, that's Andrew, come on.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Can't say that.
Horrible.
That's it. Come on.
I mean, you don't have to be a fan of them, but you don't want to wish that on them. Yeah,
not even remotely funny. Come on, buddy, be better than that. Let's go. Keep it moving.
Fair enough.
Gotcha.
I don't know what to do about Volpe outfield. I'd like to see them bring back Bellinger. More importantly, I'd like to see them give Spencer Jones a chance. He can play. He's a good athlete. He strikes out way too much, but all things considered, at a minimum, I think he's got a good shot at least somewhat coming close to Grisham's level of production. He's got to earn it, but if he's not on this team when they break camp, I'd be disappointed.
If he doesn't make the team coming out of spring training, and thanks for the call there, Andrew, then he's just not in the plans that we think that he should be. He was not a first-round pick or out of high school like Volpe. He went to Vanderbilt, guys. He's in his mid-20s. I mean, at some point, you got to make the team.
I know, but I'm not so sure that he's going to be what everybody hopes he could be here. I mean, there are already inconsistencies.
A lot of strikeouts.
And that's the other thing. Let's just say he is what you think he's going to be or what the Yankees want him to be.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to be just like everybody else. A lot of power and a lot of strikeouts. That's the last thing that they need.
Oh, man, I didn't even look at it that way. He does strike out a lot. He does have prodigious power. I mean, I've seen a lot of his home runs in the minors, and they are moon scrapers, man. But what does it mean? I don't know. I mean, I've always been more of a prospect guy than some. Not quite a prospect hugger. I'm going to get a little separation from that, but I've learned a lesson over the years. Like, we thought Dominguez would do this, and I haven't given up on Dominguez, but he hasn't done it yet. We thought Volpe would be a lot better. So many names. We know the names. Just show me what you got, and just do it at this level.
And we could sit here and say, and I'd be honest with you, saying, like, I do feel like Lombard might be different.
I do, too.
It's but but who the hell knows? I thought Dominguez was going to be better. I thought Volpe was going to be better. So I have no idea. James is calling from Long Beach. What's up, James?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Hey, James.
Not great. Same song and dance, same nonsense every single season in the Boone era. I don't understand what Aaron Boone was thinking with Volpe in the 7th inning. How are you sending this guy up to the plate again? How many times are you going to watch this guy strike out? He comes up to bat. The first pitch is showing bunt. Does he not know what's going on in the game?
It's
unbelievable. He is so clueless. They cannot run. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go for it, man. Go. Let it out.
This is it is ridiculous. I cannot do it anymore with this guy. Enough is enough.
Just want to make sure you're done. And you get it all out. Cathartic.
I'm done.
Okay. Good. I don't know why he tried to bunt. Probably because at this point he doesn't feel like he could hit. There's no way he should have been in that batter's box. There was nobody. Now, I can respect an opposing view. There was nobody that can convince me that Anthony Volpe should have been hitting in the 7th inning. Nobody.
Do you think it's too much for him to now overcome and get back on track? I'm not saying him personally, mentally. I'm talking about where the team is at, where the fan base is at with it. Like, it is.
It could be.
It's toxic,
it's
dude.
Getting
like,
there.
Like, he could still potentially be salvaged. I wouldn't just give up on the player. I don't know if it could happen here because once one thing goes wrong, like, remember, he stabilized at the end of the year to the point where he was the rightfully so starting shortstop for the Yankees in the playoffs. And the defense got buttoned up, and it was actually very good again defensively.
They played great defensively.
The fans were behind him. The home run off of Garrett Crochet. Everybody's starting to believe in postseason Volpe.
Yep.
And then that.
Well, you know, the over-the-shoulder catch last night was really nice. That bullet up the middle where he kind of pinned it against his body and got the seams and threw a strike. I mean, that was a hard ball, was hit hard. The plays we talk about, Devin Williams double play, the short hop from Jazz, he played great defense. So to answer you, we're getting to the point, man. Like, because now here's the out. One thing about our fans is that they respect when people fight through whatever it might have been that held them down. Now, if he gets off to a bad start, that might be
the nail in the coffin.
It might be. At that point, it very well might be untenable, and they might have to decide this offseason, like, do we want to even run that risk?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it might be the point of no return already.
Sal, I think when it comes to Anthony Volpe, I hate saying this because you know I'm pulling for the young man. They have to be having serious conversations about everything. Trading him, changing positions, you name it, I think it's got to be on the table. It was so alarmingly bad. I don't know how you can't investigate different things.
BT and Sal on the Fan will finish up with your calls when we come back.
Yep, do a little G-Man, obviously. Hey, every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel now. With FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot, hopefully the G-Men get a couple for you tonight. You can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each week. To jump in on the Thursday fun, all you guys to do is place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. Now, if that player scores the first or also the last touchdown, you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/BT. That's FanDuel.com/BT for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, that official sports betting partner of the NFL, and also the official partner of us here at WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-ins required. Must apply profit boost token on select market price pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 21 days after receipt. Restrictions to apply. All you have to do is see the terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you need help with a gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Too late now, but it's a shame we had to see Clayton Kershaw pitch last night for the Dodgers. He came out of the bullpen and lasted 2 innings, giving up 6 hits, 2 homers, and 4 earned runs to the Phillies. Kershaw announced this will be his final season. This is not the last memory anyone wants of one of the greatest left-handed pitchers of all time. Unfortunately, after last night, the Dodgers probably won't give him another chance at redemption. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Your favorite neighborhood spots run unsquare. You know the ones. Maybe it's the popular shop that just opened a new location by you, or the big sports bar that's always packed on game day. These places make the neighborhood, and the money spent there stays in your community. Square powers more than 4 million neighborhood businesses worldwide. To learn more, go to square.com, or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square.
Need to sell your house fast? Whether you're facing foreclosure, stuck with bad tenants, or just ready for a fresh start, House Buyer Network can help. We buy homes as is for cash. No fees, no commissions, no repairs. Get a fair cash offer in just 24 hours and close in as little as 7 days. Call 833-719-5877 now for your free no-obligation offer. That's 833-719-5877. House Buyer Network. Fast cash, no hassle.
Offers are typically below market value in exchange for speed and convenience. Call for details.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
The Fox Nation Patriot Awards returns for a new year.
Are you ready to get the show started?
Join host Sean Hannity and special guests and be part of the celebration live in New York. Tickets are available now. Go to foxnation.com/Patriot Awards.
Hey, New York, the hated Eagles are coming to town tonight. This is Chris Hodge from Sports Investors Daily and TakingVegas.com. We have a free pick for you. Just text the word WIN to the number 545454. That's text the word WIN to the number 545454. Hey, let's keep it real. If you're a fan of the Jets, if you're a fan of the Giants, you're having a garbage season. It's pretty much already over. But for all the New York fans, you know you want to beat Philadelphia. So this is a tough game tonight. Text the word WIN to the number 545454. Giants getting about a touchdown. Tough game to call with Philly coming off a bad loss last week to Denver. And obviously, the Giants doing what they do, losing to New Orleans. So we'll figure this one out for you tonight. It's free on the text line. Just text the word WIN to the number 545454. Free pick winner Thursday night to start the NFL Week 6. Text the word WIN to the number 545454.
Michelin Winter Tires offer confidence in all types of winter conditions, and Town Fair Tire offers every long-lasting, fuel-efficient Michelin tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Michelin Winter Tires that keep you going for years to come. For the guaranteed best deal on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hey, Tiki here. Imagine a world where all your smart devices work together seamlessly in one simple ecosystem. Introducing the Sloman's Shield Link. With Sloman's Shield Link, transform your home into a truly intelligent smart home experience. Control your lights, heating and cooling, door locks, cameras, TVs, just about anything in your home. Life is busy and daily stresses add up. But with Sloman's Shield Link, your home tech works in harmony, making life more convenient, safe, and enjoyable. Now imagine pulling into your driveway, and with one tap, your home welcomes you. Lights on, doors unlocked, only to hear your favorite music. A true smart home isn't just about gadgets. It's about comfort and security. With Sloman's Shield, enjoy a full integration of home security and automation, all at your fingertips. Make your life easier and your home a safer haven. Learn more at SlomanShieldLink.com or call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Embrace the future of home living with Sloman's Shield Link.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan. Call of the day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's call of the day brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Susan, can you help me out with my partner here? Because he keeps saying he wants Dominguez in center field. Can you tell him Dominguez can't play center field or they don't want him in center field?
He's not Joe DiMaggio out there. I know they keep saying that, he was a center fielder. No, he's not. No, you don't want to see that.
He's not a left fielder, so I just get rid of him at this point.
I understand that. So I think that's one of the people that Alex was saying is another DH. That's why I said there were five of them. I think what you have to do if you were going to make Dominguez a left fielder, put him in left field and you leave him there. You leave him there for 5 months and see if he can do it. By the way, John Mattingly, I still remember hitting .417 in the wild card.
Hey, let's Susan. So hold on to use it. Home run to right center. I was at every one of those games. He hit the ground rule double in Seattle. Oh my, that was amazing.
Hey, Yankee fans wanted him to be the manager, Susan.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted him to be the manager. Whatever.
I don't think Salmon passed
It's a really long time ago. It's 20 years ago. Almost 20 years ago.
Oh, God.
What happened there?
We'll discuss it over lunch one day.
Interesting.
Susan, you are the
March 25th, opening night in San Francisco.
Let's
Nothing
go.
says opening day like a night game in San Francisco.
The chase for 28.
She's already fired up about that. We love you,
About
Susan.
Netflix. Yes, can you imagine Netflix opening night? New York Yankees is on friggin' Netflix.
Oh, God, she is the best, man. Makes me smile. It was a great spot, fun spot with Susan. Check it out on the free Odyssey app in case you missed anything right there. Now, he did say 5 DHs, right, A-Rod? Susan alluded to that.
5.
Who were the 5? Dominguez,
Well, you got
Rice,
Stanton, Dominguez,
Who else?
Rice.
And that's what I was saying. Like, was he being facetious
I think
saying
he
5? Was there actually 5?
It's not
like
Goldie.
they have 3. Like they have 3 left-handed catches, whatever it was. Yeah. I mean, they do have a bunch of DHs. I don't know if I would say that they have 5 DHs. No, Jazz, not Jazz. Not
They don't have
McMahon,
5.
obviously, not Volpe. I mean, Volpe's the opposite of a DH. McMahon's the opposite of a DH. They got a guy that could field in McMahon who can't hit. Volpe could field most of the time, or at least, for you, he can't hit. Wells, I mean, he's kind of a little bit of both.
Dude.
Goldie, a little bit of both, I guess. A little bit.
He's
But
a crowd.
Was he
just at
throwing
the
Judge in
finish
there?
Can't hit righties. I mean, was he? I don't know. I doubt it. Judge is terrific in the outfield.
Yeah, but
Although
it
maybe
could save
now
his
with
career.
No, maybe now with his arm compromised a little bit.
It's going to be an interesting offseason story if anything happens, if he has any sort of procedure with his elbow. I don't mean Tommy John. That would be worse. But, I mean, is there a little cleanup there? And if there's not, you go into next year, you hold your breath, anything. Like, he unleashed one throw, and I think it was like 90 miles an hour, which is about his average on the air. I've told you this before. But there was a point when he came back, it was like 75, 78. There was a discernible drop in velo, so that was problematic. But, I'd almost prefer he gets a little arthro cleanup and come back healthy and just let it rip next year.
How about moving him to first?
Not yet. He's too good out there, man. He's still agile.
I know, but keep him fresh. I'm just saying. No, I'm not saying he's not.
I know you're not.
They
And
need a first baseman, like, keep him fresh. You know what's...
But why would he be a good first baseman? How do we know that? First base is a different skill set. Yeah. You gotta... he's a better athlete than Piazza, so he'd probably be better than that. But
you're gonna love this,
Go ahead.
and this is like a tease for tomorrow or next week, or whatever. Came up yesterday on Baseball Night in New York, and I never thought of it before. Hannah Kaiser brought it up, and there is, I guess, legitimacy to this within the Mets thinking.
Yeah,
Soto to first.
I've said that.
Like now. Well, potentially as a replacement for Pete.
Now?
They had him fielding some grounders there. I don't know if it was spring training or what.
I remember seeing that video.
Think about
same
it.
with Judge in
It
the
actually,
spring.
when I first heard it, I was like, get the hell out of here. Like, it actually makes sense where Soto's biggest issue in the outfield is his foot speed is not very good, and he can't read the balls perfectly. It's not his glove or his, like, he could throw, he could field. It's also not going to be worse than what Pete Alonso did. You keep his body fresh. Now, I'm not saying that I want that. I'm just saying in the event that they let Pete walk, like, the Mets need to change some things around.
No question.
The idea of having Soto, you upgrade the outfield by having Soto at first. You're not losing defensively. You might even be upgrading defensively there. You could build it different ways. Again, it was just a thought that I was not open to. Yeah. That now, the more I think about it, actually makes a lot of sense potentially having Soto at first base.
I don't think Stearns will be open to it yet, because think about what Stearns told us at the end of the year press conference where he emphasized defense so much.
But that's what I'm saying. It actually upgrades.
Well, we got to see him play first base before we can say he can upgrade over Pete.
But you're upgrading right field.
Upgrading right field.
And
potentially.
And you're not losing anything at first base.
All right, it's funny because I actually thought that this would be a viable option maybe 2 or 3 years from now. I actually think Juan Soto will be a fantastic first baseman.
Yeah, he looked like...
He's not a non-athlete. Like, correct. Pete's fairly non-athletic, little heavy-footed. Even though he's a smart baser, I'm not trying to dispute.
Right, Piazza wasn't athletic.
Oh, no, Piazza could run a
that's
lick.
the comp that people say.
No, Soto's biggest issue is that sometimes he takes a step into and he commits to a ball and then it's over his head. He's got a good arm. He's got good hands. He's definitely got more bounce and more wiggle, for lack of a better word, than some of these other non-athletes. I think he could actually handle it. I'm surprised that they're open to it, but I don't think it's a bad idea. I've always thought that.
Anyway, the conversation, we get into that another day. Let's get to the Giants here before we finish up on the calls with the Yankees. I feel I could be completely nuts. By the way, we do have to give our pick tonight, the money line pick. I feel, for the perfect pick segment.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like the Giants are alive here tonight. I really do feel like they could end their division. Hey, look, upsets happen all the time. We saw it with New England and Buffalo. You've seen it all over the place with these the division games. You saw it with the Niners and the Rams on Thursday night. Nobody expected that. These things happen. I'm getting the feeling that there was an overreaction to them beating the Chargers. Now I think there's going to be an overreaction to them losing to the Saints where they turned the ball over 5 consecutive possessions. That's not going to happen tonight. And the Eagles are vulnerable. I think the Eagles are a bit messy right now. I think the Giants are going to win tonight.
I'm going to give you my pick now. That's the Eagles. So I'll
go Giants.
No suspense. You got the G-Man. Hop, who do you got?
I'm going to go Eagles.
Okay.
Wow. Rock of I respect that. He's got the Giants hat on, getting ready to work tonight. Hoff will be good. Okay, there you go.
7-point favorites. I feel like with Jackson Dart, with that crowd, with the state the Eagles are in.
They just lost to the Saints.
Yeah, I get it. The Eagles just coughed up a game at home to the Broncos.
Yeah, but
and
Denver's and you're right. Denver's good. I mean, Denver's not the Saints.
Understood, but the Eagles have been off all year long, and you're right. They lost to the Saints. They had 5 turnovers. If they turn the ball over 5 times, they're not going to win. I don't think that's going to be the case tonight. Just a gut feel.
Listen, who's he throwing to? I mean, not that anybody loves Slayton, but he's not even playing with the hamstring. Maybe the tight ends?
They're going to have to do it by running the football, Scatterboo out of the backfield.
I like Scatterboo.
Jackson Dart running the football, and then obviously using the tight end. So, yeah, I would not look at, no Slayton, but even Slayton stinks. Bo Collins, I'm not looking at those guys. Maybe Wan'Dale Robinson makes some big plays here or there, but I still think they have enough. I think just on paper it's easy to say, well, they lost to the Saints. The Eagles own them. The Giants had 5 turnovers. They have no receivers. They're going to lose. My gut feeling, I think the Giants are live tonight.
31-20 Philly. I'll give you a score, too. Philly by 11. 31-20 Philly.
I'll say in those Giants 24, maybe Giants. Eagles are not going to score more than 20, and the Giants will be in the 20s. Put it that way.
I'll tell you, if the Giants hold them under 20.
Remember Giants defense as
I know,
well,
but it's not there every week. What we can do, everybody was focusing on the 5 turnovers. I was focusing on the defense after they lost the no pass rush. I mean, one week it's there, one week it's I think the defensive coordinator is horrible for the Giants. I like their players. I don't like their schemes, and I don't like their inconsistency. I
get it.
Like, could they come up with 3 or 4, although Hurts is tough to sack. I respect the Giants' top-level defensive players. I just don't see it enough to believe in it.
Understood. Hey, just a gut feel. And by the way, I've nailed every Giants game correctly so far.
You're pulling away a little bit, by the way, aren't you?
A little bit.
Didn't you hit the 2?
Hit the 2-teamer perfect parlay. Yeah, we got to get the standings. We'll do that tomorrow, obviously. But
getting smoked here.
Yeah, I had them beating the Chargers, had them losing to the Saints. I've been pretty good with so far being on it with the Giants. Obviously, this would be a major upset. And look, it could be a blowout for the Eagles. They rout them. They get right. Maybe this is the get-right game. I'm just something about this game. I think Dart is dangerous.
You playing a little bit here?
A little money line.
Sprinkle a little something on the G-Men?
I lost everything I had on the Yanks last night. $160 or whatever it was. Rich is in Scranton about those Yanks. What's up, Rich?
Richie.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks
what
for
up?
taking my call. Listen, before you go Tony Soprano on me, listen to what I have to say. I think the Yankees have to change the environment by getting rid of Cashman, because if you want to bring Mattingly back or Jeter, you have to get rid of Cashman, because I know either of those guys, I think Susan will probably tell you at that lunch talk that neither one like him, especially for hiring Girardi over Mattingly.
Oh, Derek can't stand Cashman. Jeter can't stand Brian Cashman.
And you need Jeter back somehow, even to be an ambassador. I think he'd bring in Bernie Williams somehow, either to help the team at spring training or even being a bench coach. You have to change this environment.
Well, hold on, Rich. Hold on.
Has done nothing.
Once I didn't mean to step on. I'm sorry. Hold on. So we all love Bernie. To me, Bernie's not a coach. If the Yanks are going to pull something, he's just a little bit too passive for me. If they're going to pull somebody, go and get Posada. Get Posada on the bench or on the base.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love that decision right there.
Yeah.
I think you have to get rid of Cashman to bring back. And I think Jeter could sit down with these players. You know, they could help the Yankees out one form or another, and Mattingly especially. I'd love to see him back.
I think Mattingly is getting closer to, and thank you for the call, Rich.
Thanks,
We got to go. Unfortunately, we're out of time here. I think Mattingly is getting closer to retirement than getting closer to being the Yankee manager. He's been doing this a long time. I think that dream, unfortunately, the Yankee fans need to move on from. I don't believe it's unrealistic. I don't think it's going to happen now. I would not be stunned that in the next 3 to 5 years, at some point there, maybe sooner, who knows, Jeter, president, Posada, maybe manager, something like that.
We've had conversations about this, so it's not.
Did you and I talk about this on the air?
Off the air. We're meaning that I don't think that your scent is completely off here. I think that it's more viable.
We talked about that before, but yeah.
I'll tell you after.
Yeah.
So I think that, and both we were told both people would actually be interested in the jobs as well.
Well, of course. You don't think Jeter felt embarrassed there having to listen to Vlad celebrate, mocking the Yankees. Jeter's like, you wouldn't be doing that on my watch.
Also be sticking it to Cashman, and Derek's petty with that. He doesn't forget things with the grudge.
I think it would be good, too, myself.
Me too, but they're not changing anything.
All right, that does it for us. Thanks to Jack Carty. Thanks to Hop as well. Thanks to everybody who listened and called. We appreciate each and every one of you. Back again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Evan and Tiki live for the American Dream. They're coming up next.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York